Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. It is I, Jesse Milestone, coming to you on this Friday with both good news and bad news.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
Where people were just walking around, just jizzing force all over the place. He looks like he has been drinking soy from his mother's teat. Wrap yourselves in, guys, because we are gonna get mean!
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone. I am your God Empress. And in case you guys thought you had a bad sitting out there in the chat waiting all this time, just think about how Cody felt back here with all the girls.
Yeah. Like, can you guys just give me a friend to play with? Like, come on.
A friend to play with?
I was just gonna say that.
No, he's...
Welcome.
Also, I have a.
Sorry, no, that's okay. It's all good. Dive right in. Say whatever you're gonna say because it's probably more
I have a
interesting than
drink
welcome.
too. Y'all just can't see me. I don't know what happened to my camera. It's just vanished. Like a lot of things in my house go missing, and I'm just like, you know what? I bet it was that darn troll.
Do
The
you?
one
Oh,
that
you
lives
have
on my wall.
I was gonna say maybe Andrew took a vacation out to Texas, or he's our ghost. He
He's
hasn't
hanging out
been
here
hiding
with
shit
me.
that much.
Somebody's got that camera. Somebody's got it. Somebody
Just-
took it.
Somebody got it.
Does Canada have ghosts, Cody?
Canada.
Very, very polite ones.
Oh, I'm sorry for haunting your house, eh?
Like, oi. Ooh,
Excuse
eh.
me. Is there enough room for us to both live on this porch, eh?
I'm gonna haunt you for about 5 years.
And then I'll move on to someone else and give you a break. I don't know how to do a Canadian accent. I don't know why, but whenever I try to do a Canadian accent, I just imagine that I'm a moose talking.
It's like a bit of an Irish accent with a lot more ooh.
Right? Like it's just the ooh and ooh. It's like if I was like if a Midwest, like if Fargo fucked Ireland.
Yeah, like a little bit of Minnesota, and a little bit of
You
Irish.
betcha. Whatever they say. You
It's
betcha.
weird. Canada, you know.
Canada.
So guys, in case you're not familiar with my amazing, wonderful, esteemed guest, it's probably because you can't read because I posted that information in a lot of different places, in which case I'm so sorry. There are people that can help you with that. I don't have time. But in case you're one of those people, in addition to my apologies, I am joined tonight by two very special guests. It's always a delight when I get to have Cody on here and play that intro because he made it. So Cody the Bassman, guys. Cody the Bassman. He's here.
What's going on, guys?
He's alive.
What's up,
We
chat?
love Cody.
It's quiet, chat. Chat, why are you
I
so
love
quiet?
Cody.
There's
Chat.
shine.
Chat, press F for James Bond.
Yeah, right. Pay
Oh my
respects,
God.
guys. That shit's dead.
Do it.
I didn't even see it. I was like, you know
Craig
what?
Curry says, I
don't-
can't read because of the blonde James Bond movie. You were blinded.
It's like that episode of King of the Hill where Hank sees his mom and his like stepdad doing it on the table, and he like goes medically blind through the hole. It was so fucking
Yeah,
funny.
dude.
That's Fred Kirby.
I haven't seen that episode yet, but I have seen Hank's dad and stepmom, and
Dee Dee, like Cotton and Dee Dee. Oh my God, yes.
I can't. Fucking Cod is the most like. It's funny too because King of the Hill is a show. If you guys haven't watched, King of the Show is a very balanced show with very balanced characters, and even the really really horrible, like Peggy Hill is like one of the worst people on the show, has so many redeeming qualities. And they pop up at least once an episode. She has at least 12 redeeming qualities, and they cycle them through like once an episode. So, you know, it doesn't get that redundant over how many seasons.
Yeah.
But like, so even you know, like all those things, like Dale is a weirdo. So that's because he's such a kind of awful friend in every other respect. You don't feel that bad that his wife's cheating on him. And even she grows a conscience about it eventually, you know?
She can't do it anymore either.
Right? So Cotton is the one outlier. He is the only unrepentant bastard, like who's a regular in the show.
But I love him.
Oh my God, the fucking
He's a veteran.
he's not exactly. He can do what he do.
I got my shins blown off in WW2.
Such a ridiculous.
Yeah, baby, you live that life though. You are from Texas, so like you're.
I am.
Like, how accurate is it though? Like, is that like?
There are certain things that are a little exaggerated, but then there's also, I mean, with every joke, there's a bit of truth, right? You know, so obviously there is an accuracy. Like that whole episode where Hank finds out that he wasn't ever born in Texas. He was born in New York. There are people, I am not kidding, who would lose their shit if they found out they were not born in Texas. And I am one of them.
And then there are also people who, like, if you're in that group and your friends are like that too, like, they will excommunicate you for finding out you weren't born there.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't do that to anybody, but like, I love my state, regardless of certain things that are happening. But I still love my state, and that's all I'll say about it. But I think the state fair is another one. A lot of reasons. I do not know why I hate on Oklahoma. I think it has something to do with the Red River and the fact that the Red River is still debatably belongs to Texas. And the Oklahomans don't like that. But I mean, Oklahoma, like, we're always like, oh, you're an Okie, like, just making fun of them. It's like, I don't really.
So that's more than just a football rivalry?
That's more than just a football rivalry. That's like goes back centuries of rivalry.
It's like Alamo level shit. All right.
Alamo level shit.
You're like, I'd kill one right now if I saw one.
No, but no, yeah, we make fun of Oklahomans. We call them Okies. Like that whole scene where they're planning to go on vacations, where like Hank ends up like taking care of that cat, right? And he like is looking at the map and he's charting out their like route, and he's like, oh, thank God we don't have to go through Oklahoma after all, or something like that.
Oklahoma is Texas's Tennessee. Okay.
So I love Tennessee though.
So what state is Tennessee's Tennessee then?
Yeah.
Because now I want to know. Andrew Cole says, give us Shapancake. Shapancake only appears for his $5 appearance fee. So if he only wants to pay my $5 appearance fee, they'll for sure come. But not until then, I'm happy. Okay.
I want to talk to somebody from like West Virginia and Virginia, or like North Dakota and like South Dakota, and see, like, do those states like not like each other, or like North Carolina, South Carolina? Like, is that a thing? Are you like, oh, you got the same name as me, do you? Well, you think you're so original, don't you?
The Carolinas don't seem to have an issue with each other.
Not that I know of.
West Virginia, it's just like different though, because it's like West Virginia is like the shitty step cousin that Virginia wishes it could pretend doesn't exist. Like the shitty step cousin that is the result of two other cousins fucking. So.
Oklahoma is a piece of shit whim. So fuck you. No, Texas is the best. Texas is the best. God bless Texas with his own hands. I'm just messing with you, Wim.
So.
That's some like hardcore Texas. That's some like Texas cult shit we don't know about.
Gregory, thank you for the super chat. It's $2 for Shapancake. Well, we're three more to go, and Shapancake will appear. So,
guys be like sacrificing liberals at the stake and shit.
That's the funniest thing. I just got to say that I think is the funniest misconception about American states is what it's like to live in them, like on the day to day. Like people are always like, oh my God, you live in LA. Are you just assaulted by SJWs everywhere? Like, no, like I don't even see them. Like they're not like crawling all over my city or anything like that. Like in the
they only come out at night.
In the 7 years I've lived here, out at bars, restaurants, various places, I've seen two different groups of people that with like the colored hair and that look that you would describe as the typical SJW. Right, yeah. You want them in spades, you go to fucking Portland. That's where you get that shit in spades.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, it's not here. The thing is, that's everyone's like, oh, LA, it comes from there, because Hollywood and woke this and that. Like, you guys,
Red Kirby, how would you know? You don't live down in the United States.
Don't understand, though.
Wait a minute, Jesse, don't you have that blue-haired chick living at your house?
Huh?
That's so
She's in the chat right now. Hi, social justice Jesse. Uh-oh. No. And a lot of people, I think people are more inclined to just sort of like,
I can't find the wig.
Mind their own business for the most part. I know that I barely see them. I have friends that you would consider social justice. We just don't talk about politics. And like we still have fun. I have a friend that I've known for just this.
Yeah.
This is a great point, the Goat Boy Blue. And as any logical thinking person with a brain in their head would say, of course not. That's ridiculous. Being tolerant of people who are different from you does not make you a social justice warrior. That's
I think it's that key word though is warrior though.
Right.
You know, you're aggressive, you're fighting, you're pushing, you're making people uncomfortable, you're being a dick about it, right?
Exactly.
It's not like I support people. Like, hey, most people do support those groups. You know, you're an asshole if you don't.
Exactly. You can be as progressive as you want, as progressive as the day is long, as screaming liberal left as the day is long too. And that does not make you an SJW. The key to being an SJW is the inability to tolerate somebody else's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
and
that.
I mean, I agree with you. Like, I have friends that are like that. And, you know, if they're not talking politics, they're some of the funniest fucking people I've known.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get them on politics, like, it's a whole, but I think that's just the crux of that conversation anyway. It's why it's considered one of the taboo topics that you just don't bring up at like Thanksgiving or, you know, Christmas or Hanukkah, or, you know, you don't bring that up because it's going to start something, and then the whole, you know, environment and the atmosphere is going to change. It's just not a fun conversation to have because everyone has a fucking opinion about how the country should be ran. And
yes, but like, the Goat Boy Blue, are you yourself a white man? Because if you were, well, then you're obviously just another example of an evil, violent white man, and you probably weren't being as much of an ally as you thought to your gay friends. You were probably just exercising your white man violence. And before thinking of going to fly to fist, maybe you should have checked in with your gay friends in that moment where their lives are being, you know, actually threatened, and check to see if that's the best way for you to be an ally for them. That would be the woke response. That would be the social justice approach to that. That's what would make you a social justice warrior. Yeah. Social justice warriors don't actually know how to fight for fucking anything. People like you who study things like Wing Chun, which is awesome, by the way. I'm Krav Maga myself. And understand that, like, the reason that you know how to do that is so if you ever get into a situation in the real world where you must defend yourself, that you have that you've understood those skills to do that. Part of like training in martial arts, thank you for adding the not sorry. part of training in martial arts, and especially Eastern ones, I do Krav Maga, which doesn't even have half of the levels of respect and honor and you know, discipline that these other ones has you. Krav Maga's like, no, yeah, kill the fucker, fucking kill him. But even that,
street fighting, yeah.
Exactly. But even that, when you actually learn how to fight, when you really do, right? You have to take blows in order to learn, in order to understand. You can't actually really, truly, that's why it's so hilarious. I'm a black belt in karate. Okay. Has anyone actually ever landed a blow on you? Even with a fucking headpiece on? Has anyone ever purposely actually punched you in the fucking face with headgear while you were wearing headgear? Or with just a glove with no headgear?
Yeah.
You ever got punched in the fucking face? Good. No, then you do not know how to fight in a real fight. Like, one of the key parts of being in a real fight, which I'm sure the Goat Boy Blue can attest to me one too, is that in that moment there's a lot more to being in a fight than just I know how to do a karate chop and throw a punch. There's understanding the awareness of your situation, the awareness of your opponents, what they're going to do to you, how to counter the things that they do to you, and part of that experience, a good training experience, Krav Maga, we get blows, we get knocked down, pushed around, we get the experience of being in a combat situation with the fucking adrenaline going.
I would just do dirty New York street fighting and use whatever I had on hand to fucking protect myself. Because the reason, like, the one who's willing to go the furthest in the fight is going to win the fight, right? You know, that's just it. And it's like, you're going to have to, like, a real combat situation, you can pull out all these fucking fancy moves and do backflips. Okay, this isn't a movie. This isn't the Karate Kid or Cobra Kai where it's stunt work. Real fights can go south. They're all up in the air. And it's unpredictable, and you have to do what you can to fight to get out of there.
Yeah, well, you don't actually see like the karate and those kinds of things like that often being used because honestly, in effectiveness, like sure you could apply some technique and even like the discipline of it over anything else is probably the best thing you're going to get out of it. You know, that's probably the best part about it. But even like it's like the difference between like a Steven Seagal and like a George St. Pierre. You know, like Steven Seagal is a black belt in Aikido. And like it's not really meant for I don't know, like the applying it in a situation would be difficult without getting yourself hurt.
Yeah, you'd have to really think. I mean, I feel like you'd have to assume the composition no matter what to think, because you know thinking and instinct are two different things. That's why it's called the fight or flight response. All these people like to sit here and say that, oh, if I was in this situation, this is what I would have done. Well, guess what? You weren't in that situation, so you don't really know. And have you ever heard the saying, logic is panic's prey? That's whenever instinct
yeah.
overrides your critical thinking skills. And it's like, oh, I better get the hell out of here right now and do what I can. So you really don't know what you do. I can't stand it when people say shit like that. It's like, I would like to think I would do that. But in reality, I don't honestly know.
Exactly.
I would like to think, but we don't know. I've never been in that kind of situation. So it's all about, you know, thinking, and don't just assume that you're going to be the person that you would like to be, but you haven't been, you know, taken to the task yet. So
that's the thing. I don't think you get into a situation you don't think, and that's the key to it. Like, I mean, like, the more you can think, the better you can kind of control yourself and what you do and how more effective you are. But usually when you're in that situation, you don't. You just do one thing or you do the other. Either you, like you said, fight or flight. Either you're gonna whoop somebody's ass or you're gonna run away.
And this shit, by the way, people might come at, you know, someone like Greg Kirby for saying, you know, just kick men in the balls. Nah, when you're in a real fight, it's not about doing the honorable thing and this and that. You're in a real fight on the street. I mean, somebody is trying to do you harm, and you should try to do them harm back as much as possible, as immediately possible, to get the fuck away from them. So
do them before they do you, man. They'll do it first.
So,
Blue Boy Blue, Brie Larson hates you too. Well, that's good. I'm still just
Brie Larson hates Brie Larson.
To bring up to bring up cheese theft for just a quick moment, Captain Twat Waffle for just a quick moment. I will never regret my favorite thing.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey,
What's going on, man?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, buddy, thanks again, Thanks again for coming on to my show.
Dude, thanks for asking me to be a part of it. I had so much fun talking about Star Wars. I love trips down memory lane. So anytime anybody asks, gladly.
Well, you guys, if you want to know what that is all about, go sub to Cody's channel. The newest video up there right now is that you talk about your series, because I'm just gonna picture it and get it wrong. So talk a little bit about this video that dropped today.
No. So I do every week I kind of do a different fandom. There's 4 primary fandoms I do: Transformers, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, and Godzilla. So those are the ones I usually do every week. And then if there's an extra week in the month, I explore a new fandom. So basically this month I've got 2 extra ones lined up because it's a special 13 days of Halloween, spooky October type of dealio. So yeah. So I get two extra ones.
And I'm going to be.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm going to be on one of those fandom jumps. I'm doing Resident Evil with him. And so it's really exciting. It's one of my favorite game franchises ever. And I'm a little nervous. It's the first video I've ever really done. So we'll see how it goes. And it's good experience to learn, see how it goes, and really get started. And I'm excited.
You remember like 17 minutes ago when I introduced Cody and I was like, Cody's here. I never got to you, Sweet Pea. I'm so sorry.
Oh, come on. It's my fault. It's
joining me in guys. I'm gonna post your channel.
This is a hell of an intro. This is like the opening to No Time to Die. It's like 45
right? Like 45 fucking minutes before you're like, and the movie starts. What? 5 years later, huh? Yes, the Go Boy Blue. That would not be too out there at all. So as I alone am allowed to call her Sweet Pea because she has transitioned now into her newest identity, her new identity, her YouTube form.
My complete Baby Outlaw. That is me, y'all. Jeff, you can call me Sweet Pea too, since y'all both are kind of like the same. But hello, I am Baby Outlaw, y'all. I hail from the great state of Texas. I am a writer and an artist with terrible makeup skills. And I am a clown, and I'm just here to have some fun and maybe educate a few people and be creative. And I'm really excited. I'm so happy to be a part of this community that has been very kind to me, especially Jeff and Jesse and Cody and all those guys. Like, you guys have really just been so good to me and gracious. And I can't be more thankful and grateful toward y'all. I really can't. So thank you for having me on. So hopefully this will go well.
I have a question for you, Sweet Pea. Since you brought up you're doing Resident Evil, what do you think of Resident Evil 4?
I love Resident Evil 4. I think that's like, I love it. And it's interesting enough. I'm actually making Cody do Resident Evil 5 instead of 4. Because Resident Evil 5 is the Resident Evil game that actually got me into Resident Evil. I didn't grow up playing video games like a lot of other people do. So my friend had gotten a PlayStation 3 and it came with the PlayStation 3. And so we were playing it and I just had a blast. It was a 2-player. we went around shooting shit, and it was great. And I was like, I want to know more about this. And so I eventually just found all the other games and played them and fell in love with it completely. And I was like, this is like my fucking game. Not necessarily involved with the fandom itself. I don't necessarily get involved in a lot of fandoms just because there's a tendency to be a lot of drama in the fandoms. And it's like, I'm just not a big fan of like.
But you know your way around it, no?
Yeah,
like,
I do know. I absolutely do.
And that's kind of the thing. Like, I want the person that I bring on for these extra episodes every month. Well, every month that has an extra week or whatever. Like, I want them to kind of take me through and take the people watching through, what the fandom's all about. You know, what's the best game or what's the coolest fan film or it's
I can't
a
wait
good
to
way
watch
to.
it.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited too. It's going to be fun. We're going to play the game together. It's a 2-player, so we're going to do that on the weekends. We got a little worried today when we found out our schedules were not compatible until we found out we both had weekends off. So it's like, thank God. But no, I love Resident Evil 4. I am a Leon S. Kennedy like simp. Like almost to the level that Anna is for Henry Cavill. Almost, not quite, but like I fucking love his ass. And it's just.
Were you upset when they cast him as like a Latino looking guy in the new movie?
You have no fucking idea. I was laughing though. I was like, they literally turned Leon into Carlos.
Didn't I say that to you right away?
Yeah.
I said, what happened to Leon?
Yeah.
Sleepy, I have his action figure at home. I love Leon S. Kennedy.
By the way, carry on, but Flaming TP did finish the appearance fee for Shapancake that Greg Kirby started.
Oh.
So maybe we'll have to bring Shapancake.
Go get the cat. Go get the cat.
Oh God, no! I love that though. What action figure is it from the 4th one, or is it like his original, like where he first?
It's from Resident Evil 2. I had it since like 1990.
His head was in Han's crotch.
Ew.
Well, should have left him alone.
It's funny though. I bought Jesse and I. Well, not okay. I bought myself every Resident Evil game on Xbox, but some are multiplayer, so we're gonna play them.
Oh, great!
So
great
we have
games.
what we have 5, 6, and 7.
My appearance fee got paid, so I'm here.
I'm actually not a big fan of the newer Resident Evil games, like the ones where you play as Ethan Winters and it's a first-person perspective. I don't feel like they're Resident Evil games. I mean, I know that they oops, sorry about that. The fandom's always talking about, oh, I wanted to go back to its horror roots. It's this. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Resident Evil was never really that scary. It's always been campy and fun and full of monsters and big guns. And it's just the overall conspiracy and the continuity that I find impressive with it, that it's managed to maintain. With these newer games, they don't really do that at all. I cannot stand Ethan Winters. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think they make it really easy to kind of like confuse it with like a Silent Hill. Like it's not the same thing. Like call it something else. Call it anything else.
Well, they Americanized, and I hate to say it that way because all of their stuff is influenced from Western entertainment, like Resident Evil. But like when Resident Evil was its own thing, then they tried to make it too action gamey, try to make it like this, try to make it like that.
Yeah.
I don't do. 5 is the one I kind of tapped out on. I played through it with Dion a little bit. I like 2 and 3 and 4. That's my Resident Evil. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. I like them all. I mean, I 6. I just really couldn't. I didn't understand what was going on, and I thought either I'm really stupid or the game is really stupid. And I think the game was really stupid. Oh my God, Kitty!
Look at that look. That's evil. That's pure evil.
I got brought here against my will, so I'll probably have to break something later.
You're beautiful, Shit Pancake. Shit Pancake is literally saved in my autocorrect. It will like actually correct it into Shit Pancake. I was like, I have accomplished something miraculous here with my phone.
You're famous, buddy.
Yeah, I'm famous.
You don't even know what it means.
Pancake.
I can't wait to meet you one day.
I know. I can't wait to meet you either. Louis not in here. Okay. Louis fucking attacked me today. I was walking in. He just he didn't hurt me. He's such a powder puff. Like he's a little Gumby cat.
He gone.
But no, I completely understand what Jeff is talking about here when he says like the games really went through an identity crisis when 5 came out. Resident Evil 4 is really kind of like the start of that, but 5 really did make it more of action because they wanted to capitalize in on the COD, the COD audience, the Call of Duty, and then 6 came out and it was just like this melting pot that was not great. And it was like a mix of everything. You had your action, your horror, you had your conspiracy, and I feel like it's just crazy. Like,
what bothers me is these remasters that got coming out, like 2 and 3.
I actually really like.
I mean, like the third person aspect, like they play great, they look great, and like the third person is great, like how it's like based off of like the fourth game's mechanics, but at the same time, like it does lose the original game. Like it's a game is completely different now. Like you're not walking around like wondering what's around the next corner type of deal. It's like an action shooter more or less. So it's a lot different. You're not worried about getting fucking ammunition and saving your freaking typewriter thing. Like it's different.
Oh, you can put that on hardcore, and then you get the what was it? The rolls that you get to put in the typewriter.
Yeah.
You do that on hardcore. I felt like I was struggling for ammo, but then maybe again, I'm not really the best at conserving my ammo. I'm definitely like, so I started shooting. You know that meme? That's me. Lose all my ammo in the process of that. I try to, save it, but for the most part, no. But I did enjoy the remake of 2.
They're
I felt
good.
like
They're good, and I think for a newer generation, like I think kids nowadays wouldn't be able to put up with that shit, man. Like that old school type of gameplay.
Backtracking, like
that's
think
fucked.
backtracking and that.
Even playing it now, it's just like it's so fucked walking around trying to shoot stuff, and like your guy's shooting like straight ahead, then you got to like move him to the side to shoot, and you got to like try to aim the gun.
Oh, they would not put up with that, and they'd have to be very dedicated. But 4 is definitely that's the one I really played, and that's what really made me fall in love with Resident Evil, and then to Code Veronica, and then like all the other spin-offs. Of course, I couldn't play the they were for the Wii when they came out. I can't remember, like Outbreak or Darkness. I don't remember, but I didn't.
I know what you're talking about. It's like a first. Yeah, that's for.
Read this since Jeff is back with us now. Social Justice Jesse says, Jeff, thanks for fixing the constant diversity problem.
You're welcome. I walk around as everyone's diversity shield with my card. That's how some people used to see me.
You have like a little name tag too. It says Jeff Diversity Shield. Can't touch
Jeff,
me.
I'm black enough to count.
It's actually kind of crazy, like how games change over time, and you don't even realize it. Like, I don't know, Jeff, have you played Shadows of the Empire for Nintendo 64?
Dude, I love that game.
Oh hell yeah, back in the day.
That is the reason why.
Have you played it? Have you played it lately?
No, because first off, old 3D games do not hold up. Not because I can't do the graphics. You brought up Resident Evil 4. That's on the cusp of almost too difficult to play because it was before the dual thumbstick camera perfection. It's like a very old school game.
Yeah.
So that like right after like that PlayStation 2 GameCube era, like it just like everything became perfect and you could beat shit pretty easily, even on hard.
What did you guys think of the news that they're taking back the original versions of Grand Theft Auto? Starting yesterday, if you don't have GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City downloaded, they're being taken away.
Oh shit!
They're getting replaced.
I didn't hear anything about that. That doesn't surprise me. Rockstar's been fucking pulling.
Rockstar can suck my dick.
They can.
Company.
Like, what are they changing though? Like, that's the question. Right? Like,
what's happening is they're re-releasing the Grand Theft Auto trilogy with remasters.
Okay.
But they're taking off the old version. So like a couple of years ago, they just put the old ones in HD out, which I bought multiple times. But now these are the new ones, which people are afraid they're censored because they censor their content. So they have new graphics and new controls, but they'll take out offensive shit because they don't want to get sued.
That was half the fun of Grand Theft Auto, was being able to fucking do whatever you want to. I only played that game. That's all the fun.
Yeah, talk radio's gone. All the talk radio is gone.
I'll link these supers real quick. Annie McCallum, thank you so much for the super sticker. The Shiba, full of love. You're still here giving us love, even though it's way past your bedtime. I'm sorry that your leg is keeping you up.
He's got a boo-boo.
Good. He's in Tomorrowland, isn't he?
Yeah, right. It's Wednesday over there. It's matriarch.
Technically, it's Tomorrowland for me too, but not that late, so I'll live.
Fair enough. And Greg Kirby, thank you for the super chat. Clint Eastwood, this is the pussy generation. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Oh yeah.
The Bonafide Gamer asked earlier if anyone saw the new Scream trailer. I actually didn't know there was a new Scream trailer.
I didn't see it. I didn't know. I didn't see that.
They milk. Is it a new movie or?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
it's a
saw
movie.
pictures like David Arquette and Courtney Cox and everybody.
Really?
Wait, David Arquette died in the fucking movie. How's he in that one?
Yeah, what?
It's
Because like,
goofy.
okay, so we're on 5 now, right?
Yeah.
I thought 4 was a lot of fun.
I thought 4 was a lot of fun too. I'm not. You're not alone in that. I enjoyed
David
watching, and
Arquette's
I
in
love
this
the
movie.
Scream series.
I know there were some people that were like, "Yeah, 4 was stupid and blah." I thought the whole meta level of 4 was perfect. I thought 4 was the perfect way to reinvent Scream, essentially.
Look at
To
the character's
basically
name from Scream 5. Wes Hicks.
Wes Hicks,
My cousin.
It's your cousin.
Wes Hicks.
But
Yeah,
it was like the.
It's the time-honored tradition, though. Like continuing on the series. Like, god damn it, there's so many Fridays.
That's right,
There's
James
so many
Baker.
nightmares. There's so many nightmares. Like, look at how many movies are in the series.
I feel
13
like
Halloweens.
Yeah.
Or
Oh my
13
god.
Halloweens going to be 13 Halloweens.
Honestly. Oh, go ahead, Jesse. I'm bad.
All I was gonna say is that with those types of genres, as long as you do what I think Scream has successfully done, or many of the Halloweens have, some not all, is certainly 3 breaks the mold, which I just watched last night for the first time, which is fun.
They wanted to go the anthology route when they came out with 3, but the fans were so like, "What the fuck happened?" that it never went on to do.
Side note,
anthology. Yeah.
by the way, we watched that last night, and then we started pitching this crazy neo-noir sequel to it.
I live for that.
And then Jeff finds his headline today about Jason Blum open to doing a direct sequel to Halloween 3.
We have a connection.
We have a connection to Universal. So now we're
It's
just
all- Jason
Just don't
Blum,
call it Halloween.
Yeah.
Call it something
we
else.
should try to pitch this.
Well, Jesse, Jason Blum to me, like the guy, he'll make anything, but he seems like such a really cool guy, and he's, really big into supporting, like, I guess the newer, directors and stuff like that, and he'll throw a lot of money at, anything. And I think y'all guys, being as talented as you are, could come up with something pretty fucking cool. I would say.
$10 say they call it Season of the Witch.
I think
Must be the season.
I know this sounds
of
lame,
Halloween.
but if you would have went back in time, if they would have named it Season of the Witch, like Halloween Tale or something like that,
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
then just call it that.
Make it like a spin-off so it's you get to understand that it's somehow in the universe. I mean, the only reference to it to the universe. Although, I caught an Easter egg that Jeff had never seen before.
What?
Because what really the only overt references to Halloween, the actual series in the universe, are when they're watching
Wasn't it on
it
the
on TV.
television, like on the
But-
TV?
There's a moment, the very first time you ever see that stupid fucking Halloween Silver Shamrock commercial, and if weird does a weird flicker off, it flickers to a digital Michael Myers mask for a second before it goes off.
Oh my god, I know what you're talking about. I saw that. Yeah, when I first saw Season of the Witch, I was like, what the fuck is this? Where's Michael Myers? But then I watched it again, I was like, okay, this isn't as bad. Like if you don't really associate it with Halloween
I was the same.
franchise,
Exactly.
then it's still a good movie to watch. And that's the one thing I like about the Scream franchise is that Scream fundamentally knows what it is.
Yeah.
And
I
is
agree.
not afraid to show that. And that's why I don't have a problem with it,
Yeah.
more so with the Friday the 13th or even the absurd number of Halloweens. And
There are more Friday
And it
the
was
13th
like
than Halloween, I think.
Scream,
Yeah.
like if the fourth one made sense to do it the same way as they did it in the first one because the whole movie referenced itself, So it's like,
Which is good though,
Yeah.
because it pulled that during that era. Now everybody does that, so Scream 5 can't
Scream 5's
be
already
that.
done that.
yeah.
I like Scream 4 more than I like Screams 2 and 3.
Yeah, I
But
think so.
Only one is one's the only one I would go out of my way to watch.
Me
I
too.
want to counter that. I don't need to watch Scream ever again. You know why? I will watch Scary Movie because they copied the dialogue 1-to-1. It's the same movie and it's better.
I gotta say, I could,
for duty.
My strong arm. That shit makes me piss my pants with laughter. My strong arm. My turn sticks it in the fucking moon. You're fine.
But back on to Halloween 3 for a second there, because last time I was on, we were actually talking about it, and I said I thought it was shit. I thought it was a shit sequel, and I actually watched it again with kind of like a different mindset of like, okay, Michael Myers isn't in it. This isn't a Halloween movie. We're not talking about Halloween here,
Right.
and it is. It's pretty good.
It's got some gnarly kills. It's a creepy premise.
Oh,
it's
the kid with the mask on. Oh my
I played
gosh.
the kills for Mary.
Different.
Wolf help out with the Superman segment.
Yeah.
And they were talking about their horror movies, and I telling our stories about the horror movies. And I was like, you got to watch Halloween 3. And I explained what it is. And she's like, I might watch it. I'm like, watch this kill. And I showed her the laser one.
That laser one, the misfire.
Oh, Mary
that was
Mayhem.
the best.
Mary Mayhem? Is that who you're
Yeah,
talking
she
about?
does not
Oh
like
my
gore.
gosh.
She can't
I
handle
know.
gore.
I told her she can't handle it. I told her she said, I recommended 30 Days of Night to her. And she goes, I already saw that. And if you're recommending, I love that movie too. I actually have the graphic novel for it.
Oh, nice. I
It's
always wanted to
really
read it. 'Cause I heard it was
it's very, very, very stylized, but I think it works. But I was going to recommend The Descent. Has anyone ever seen The Descent?
We watched that. I've seen the movie a couple times.
That's one of my favorite fucking movies. And at the time, back in the 2000s, it was considered one of the best horror movies to come out in that decade.
I remember that. It was a big
Such
deal.
a good decade too.
It was a good decade for horror. I really agree with that. And that movie is brutal. I remember I was watching it with my dad, and we were eating. Big mistake. And it got to the part where I think she stabs that cave creature, and it looks like she ripped off, like, I don't know, a nipple or something. And I was literally looking at my onion ring. I'm like, I'll never eat onion rings again. And I have never eaten onion rings.
Can't do it.
I love that movie. Whataburger. Probably.
I still haven't tried it yet.
I've been there once. I need to go back, Sweet Pea, because when I went, it was after WrestleMania 32, and it was not a good experience. It's like
Whataburger's not the same as it used to be, so I completely get it. Like,
this was actually kind of cold and just not prepared well. So like even like I want to get whatever it is at its peak. Like, say what you will about In-N-Out. Every time we go there, it's like hot.
Yeah, I mean, it does come out pretty fresh.
You went to Cowboy Stadium for that one, eh, Jeff?
I did.
Or not Cowboy Stadium. What do they call it? A&T or Marina
World, fucking Jerry World.
Yeah.
My uncle used to be a staunch Cowboys fan until Jerry, what's his fucking face?
Jerry fucking Jones, the
yeah,
fucking psychopath.
The Crypt Keeper.
Snuck into that.
The Bonafide Gamer. I do not like the Hostel movies. I'm okay with certain gore, but Hostel is just too much for me.
I've always wanted to see them though.
I hate Jerry Jones because he fired Jimmy Johnson. We could have had more rings. We could have had like 6 or 7, but I guess 5 is good. I guess
he's a Canadian Cowboys fan. It's upsetting to me.
A lot of us are. It's actually really weird.
But you guys got the CFL.
It's lucky for Cody.
I know. Look, The Rock was in the CFL. He got cut from that.
3 downs.
Baker, I love The Ruins. That one was fun.
That was
The Ruins is a really good
legs.
Oh,
that was gnarly to watch.
That was one that was like it paid to do the effects, you know. So it wasn't about it being super graphic and just gory.
Right. It's tasteful, right?
It was detailed and realistic and like
I think. Have you guys seen Hereditary?
Jeff hasn't seen it.
I've seen Hereditary. There's a certain point in that movie where I didn't necessarily care for it. I also really did not like Midsommar. Oh my God.
I hated that movie.
I love Florence Pugh. I think Florence Pugh is a fabulous actress. She's too good for Marvel. No offense, but the direction she had, I was like, dude, why are you making her scream like that? I was like, make her stop. Get a grip, girl. 5 G's, please. Good God, girl, get a grip. All right. Like,
right, dude. That was a movie with some excellent visuals and some excellent ideas. I can't write it off completely because it stays with me. I come back to it. I keep circling back to it.
Right.
But I don't think it was a good movie per se, right?
I think it was more style over substance, for the most part, versus like it being substance over style, which is why I prefer watching the older movies from the past, even though they have really, difficult. Some people won't even watch Jaws because they say the graphics aren't good. I'm like, it's practical effects, you fucking idiot. And it's endearing. I like looking at all that old practical effects stuff because without it, we wouldn't be where we are. And it's like, you got to respect the old guard. Like,
it also it's there. It holds weight. I think we abandoned good practical effects and
We
animatronics.
really did.
But honestly, like,
Jurassic Park showed how perfect we could make shit.
Well, I think that's a lot of people are coming back to it now. Like that's and part of it too.
Didn't you say it's cheaper?
Yes, practical effects are always cheaper than their computer generated equivalents.
Yeah.
Fuck candy corn, you are disgusting. Oh my god!
I remember you're like, it's like wax. Like on our first stream, I was there.
I can eat like
bag.
Sugar, fucking candy corn to me, it tastes like you chewed up wax and sugar and then vomited it out and molded it into little fucking corn kernel shapes.
Buy that man some Reese's cups or something. Come on.
You can.
Oh gosh, I'm so like if I eat Reese's cups, like I can only eat like a few things of candy corn before I'm really sick of candy corn.
Yeah.
You know.
Go to Costco, get yourself a big ass fucking bag of M&Ms or something.
Yeah, dude, we got a bag. We haven't tried it yet. They have Fruit Loops makes a gummy now.
Want to try it?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about it.
The Goat Boy Blue says, "What the fuck is candy corn? We don't have that here." You are so lucky. It's this retarded thing that Americans think is good. Yeah. It's literally wax and sugar. Like
it's not wax.
It's okay. It's whatever it is. It's like
gross.
Really
it's like gross traditional Halloween candy that nobody eats
and
it's fucking gross.
Also, another thing too, like
it's
remember
the food version of wax with sugar, and it tastes like nastiness.
It doesn't have a distinct flavor, and I think that's what throws people.
It tastes
off.
like pretend sugar.
It tastes sweet, and like it's supposed to taste like something else.
Yeah, but it doesn't have anything to it. It's good wax. It's not.
Yeah. It's fucking alien. That's what it is.
No, it's not corn at all. It's just
a minute, dude.
To show him. It's not. It's not. It's just shaped like corn, like a corn kernel. You know, like if you fucking stacked like Indian corn kernel.
I dare you to just eat that. Please
them 1930s kids be jumping all over for that shit.
Me. You guys can pay me to eat candy corn, but that's about it.
Eating they fucking boiled vegetables and shit. Boiled cabbage.
Gross.
Boiled cabbage.
No, I can't
eating their candy corn.
Okay, I'm now just curious about the peanut butter solution because I've never heard of this.
Nor have I.
What about peanut butter solution? What's wrong? What's
happening? FB says, I think Jeff would like learning about the peanut butter solution 85. Someone needs to educate us further. Also,
I don't want to Google. I don't want to be the one to Google that.
Jeff's doing it. Okay. If these don't all taste the same flavor, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Well, it's got a great poster.
Peanut butter solution.
It's a cool piece of art.
Oh, that's neat. I've never even seen this. I've never heard of this.
This tastes like Fruit Loops flavored soap.
Oh,
I don't like these.
Have y'all got like horror movie covers? I feel like are just not what they used to be. Those really nice painted covers they used to do. The same thing applies for books. Like most books today, when you go into like any like Barnes and Noble or Borders or whatever you guys like go and whatever bookstore y'all like go to, but like if you can't like directly identify a horror novel from a romance novel sometimes, like if the covers are all like stylized but there's no like definitive like indicator that what you're reading is a horror book unless it's like a Stephen King novel or Clive Barker or you know fucking John Saw, all these other like guys that you know become familiar with, so they don't ever really look the same anymore. These really cool painted covers, like even the Goosebumps covers do not look great anymore. They're too sleek. There's something about
the YouTube video.
Simplified. Yeah,
I did. Oh my god, I saw that. I loved it
this week.
Oh my god, I watched it this week too. That's what I was going to say. I was like, I saw this. Like, no wonder, because I was looking for a book.
When I said to you about how I'm watching shit on literature on YouTube now.
Yeah,
it was that.
So I'm pretty sure all of the flavors are the same, which is good because every flavor of Fruit Loop is actually the same, and they do just fucking taste like Fruit Loops. Like,
I don't like that because I'm used to the crunchy with milk and
right. It's very unsettling to have.
It reminds me of that. Like, you want to talk about unsettling with Fruit Loops? If y'all saw Get Out and the way that bitch was eating that Fruit Loop and drinking the milk with a straw, I wanted to scream. I was about to lose it in the theater. Like, I literally felt like I was about to like spontaneously combust. That's how I felt. Boom. No.
We should throw that on the list just because you haven't seen it yet for the season. Get Out.
That's okay. Like, I mean, it was fine.
I actually enjoyed it. I will stand by it. I think it's a good movie, and I enjoyed it. I thought it does a good.
I like Peele's comedy better.
I agree.
He's hilarious.
I agree, but I do think that Get Out did a nice job of blending horror and comedy. I always like that. That's my thing. I like the subvert. I like
the ESA guy or whatever. The TSA guy.
Dude, TS motherfucking A, he's my favorite part of that movie.
I was like, thank God he didn't die.
Oh my God. Right? So there is enough emphasis on humor and comedy in that film in situations that would otherwise be inappropriate in a different horror film, that it blends the genres in a way that pleases me. So I accept a lot of people's criticism about it. And I don't think it's particularly. Yeah. I think the ways it is novel is that I think it's the amount and the levels in which it blends humor into an also equally grisly perspective. I don't want to say novel, but not a lot of films do it, and certainly not intentionally successfully.
Yeah. Greg Kirby, it's called Get Out, and you wouldn't like it. Yeah. I'll just say that right now. You wouldn't like it. All right. What was it? I really I can sit there and agree with people's criticisms of certain films and completely be okay with still watching the movie and enjoying. A good example of this is Lady in the Water. A lot of people fucking hate that movie, and I understand why. I actually, I hate
that. That was one of the very first movies that I remember. I'm very easygoing. I don't get mad at movies being bad. That was one of the first movies where I was mad about how bad it was.
I turned it off.
I liked it. I
really like Paul Giamatti. I think that's probably what sold me the most.
Oh yeah, Paul Giamatti really does not get enough work of his dramatic chops. I thought he did very good at being that kind of depressed, awkward guy with a stutter, and
he has a story too. He has a story. Yeah. The whole thing about it. Sorry to cut you off there, Sweetie, for a quick second there, but
no, I've been cutting people off all night.
It's really, I wouldn't say it's deeper than it really is or anything like that, but they do tell a good story, and it makes you really kind of connect with that character, and especially liking Paul Giamatti as it is already. You really kind of get drawn into what's happening. I mean, it can be, it can be a stupid story. It can be
pretentious, I mean, I can see what people.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan is not an easy person to kind of like, and I think he's kind of got a my movie's so fucking good kind of aura about him. And I think it kind of ruins it for a lot of people too.
Yeah, I would too.
Coming back. It's true. I will give him props on two fronts. One is his persistence at continuing to make the types of films he wants to make, even though everyone told him he was bad at it for the longest time, until he actually found his way back around. And good night, Goat Boy Blue. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, though, Cody's Canadian, so don't judge him. He doesn't get points. He doesn't give us American points. So, words.
Shyamalan.
He also cares so much about the craft of movie making. I can't knock any director right now that still gives a shit about how to frame a shot and cut a scene and tell a story and develop characters, because so many people aren't doing it. No Time to Die is a perfect example, which we can dive into since I know the chat was pretty hungry for that earlier. It's just amazing, baffling, mind-blowing to me how studios consistently justify putting garbage out
or mediocrity, right? It's either garbage or it's mediocre
in service of their narrative.
Absolutely.
In service of their dollar. It's so it's pathetic.
It is. I mean, but you think about it like that, it's it's basically following formulas. I mean, this is not something that's new. It's just gotten a lot worse than it used to be, but you can find the same thing in the publishing industry too. A lot of times the studios are just going to try to make a quick buck on whatever is the most popular. So I don't necessarily think this is, just a studio problem. I think it could possibly be a problem with the larger audiences. I mean, it could be wrong, but a lot of people aren't taking as big of a stand as I think they should, or not recognizing that, you don't need to go into a movie theater and take your brain out, and just sort of look at all the pretty colors on the screen and then kind of forget about it, 10 minutes after you've left the film. I don't think there's been a movie recently that's been memorable for the right reasons. And that's sad.
I agree. And our intel tells us that this breaks down at the marketing level, and that's obviously, and so basically it's marketing, executive producers. We've always had a problem in film with executive producers having too much control. Ooh!
They have way too much fucking control. Like,
ooh,
nice.
That is sick. Oh my god.
I've always said if I could have any job at Universal, I'd want to be in the Waterworld stunt show, or I'd want to play Megatron, because Megatron's job is to just be a dick to kids.
Yeah.
Stands around being a dick to the kids who want to take pictures with him. That's it. It's his job.
What series is this from? Is this a model? Is this
this is the Masterpiece Collection, MP34.
Oh shit, you bought one of those. Okay.
Yeah,
that's absolutely incredible. I love the detailing on it. My friend Mando would love that.
I had to.
These like in stores.
That's like the masterpieces are kind of on a next level. It's kind of the Transformers you always wanted when you were a kid.
Wow.
Like, this is legit G1 cartoon. Megatron looks exactly like, and you can transform him into an actual gun, and he looks exactly like a gun.
I've been this close to pulling the trigger on one of those Optimus Primes. This close, but I don't like Transformers enough to justify. Like, I bought that red series Optimus Prime that doesn't transform. It's like a weird 6-inch scale.
Yeah,
that's it. I think that's
honestly, man, you can get one of the knockoff ones, and I don't like saying support, knockoffs that are cheaper and that kind of thing. But like for like $60 to $100, you could get like an Optimus Prime version of that. Like, they're that cheap, and especially like because there's different kind of versions nowadays, because there's 3 different versions of the Masterpiece Optimus Prime, and the first one I'm talking, it's like $70. Like, if you want to get one that looks just as good as this. The newer one is a little more expensive, it's like $150, $200, $300, depending. But they're getting so good, man. It's such a crazy time to be alive, it really is.
I mean, literally, if I type in KO Optimus, it starts up. So
that's it.
Rick Kirby,
Sorry, thank you again for the super chat. Writing a movie horror script, trying to do a new.
Way to go, Greg! I think that's excellent. I think that is absolutely the best thing I have heard come out of your mouth for a long time is that you're gonna do something that you want to see. I mean, the same thing applies. It's like a lot of times, like problem that I have with like certain people in the community. Not naming names outright, but we know who I'm probably talking about. But a lot of times they don't realize that if Disney and Marvel and DC and all these big movie studios were to just sort of like correct course tomorrow, they wouldn't have a channel. They wouldn't. And it's like, you got to remember, it's like, if you really want change, like, you have to be that change. It's not just about talking about it, because one thing to talk about, it's another thing to do something about it. And I think a lot of people equate doing something to talking about it. I'm just like, no, it's just hot air at this point. Take all that comic book knowledge, all that movie knowledge, all those things, those old stories taught you, and apply it to something that is constructive. And that way things will change. I mean, you think about all the good art that has come into our society. I mean, there's art that has defined a generation. I mean, look how Star Wars defined it. We still talking about Star Wars 30 fucking years later. Like, that's a really big thing. Art changes the culture. And, talking and going on and presenting outrage constantly is just, you're going to get your audience addicted to that, and they're not going to know anything else, and they're going to be constantly angry all the time. And don't let those people live rent free in your head. Like, just, you can be the change. Like, just take it and apply it to do something. Like, that's why I respect Jeff so much. Like, he's made something really cool, and it's just it's about the saying applies, write what you want to read. And there it is, stealing Solo.
Hey, speak of the devil, perfect timing.
Hey, Kai.
Kai makes lots of fun stuff. He's a great example of somebody who said, hey, if I want creation out in the world.
Oh my God, I love how they all look like old school action figures.
Fun and tell the kinds of stories I want them to tell, the kinds of characters I want to see. I should just write them myself. And he did.
Space Crime Domino.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Space Crime Domino.
Cover. And that's a girthy book too. That's impressive.
Girth is important.
Oh yeah.
And this is the way of the this is the way of the future. Content creators are the future.
They are
action figures.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. It's so like, that's why it's like, oh, go on.
There's so many more stories to tell too. There's so many good stories out there. Like,
Let's all talk at the same time. It's okay. It's the part of the night. No, don't be sorry. No one has to be sorry. We all have a lot to say.
Excited and
You should all be so sorry.
And I'm trying to be more assertive because I'm Canadian and I need to be more assertive.
That's true.
And you're talking to a woman from Philadelphia and a woman from Texas.
I know. I got to get in there. That's what I'm saying. Just got to cut you bitches off. Just get in there.
Now it's coming out. Now we're getting into the shit here.
Yeah, we're getting hot and heavy. Let's go.
I like that direction. I mean, Jeff's right.
I'm tired of this, eh? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being disrespected, eh? I'm sick of it. I am tired. I am tired. I am sick. Eh?
I'm sick of the nonsense.
I am a boot tired of all of this shit.
A boot tired.
I'm terrified. I'm quaking in my booties over here. I've been put in my place, man, so thoroughly. Yep. My little fuzzy sock.
Oh, I love your socks. They're so cute. But yeah, it's like you're right, Cody. I refuse to believe that the art of storytelling is completely dead. I don't think that. I think it is just being overshadowed by the constant discussion of the wokeness. It's like the wokening is here. It's like, come on, guys. Like, there's still
Greg Kirby smokes. Let's go.
There's still great. Oh, hey, Reese.
I definitely think that we need a Trailer Park Cody account now.
Trailer Park Cody?
No. Because the Bassman is Trailer Park Cody.
Okay. All right. So we just need more of the Bassman then.
You're the
Bassman cometh. There you go.
You're either a nice Canadian or you're a Trailer Park Canadian. It's just the two.
My dad has been watching
different paths.
Trailer Park Boys for the last fucking 2 months. That's all. I'll come home. I live with my parents, by the way, unfortunately right now, due to certain hard times befalling me. So that's been interesting. But he's been watching Trailer Park Boys for the last 2 months. And every time I come in there, I see that big fucking weirdo with those glasses on. And I'm just like,
holy fuck, boys.
About Cody.
Did you ever get into Letterkenny?
Not as much. I mean, it's accurate for like if you live outside of like a city or like a township. It's more like farmer type Canadians, like rednecks,
country people.
But Trailer Park Boys is more like
trailer trash.
If like I said, if you're not a nice Canadian, you're a Trailer Park Canadian.
Like Sebastian Bach from Skid Row.
Wait, he was a Trailer Park. He didn't realize he was Canadian in the first
place.
He's
Canadian. I was obsessed with watching like all the old school like MTV documentaries about stuff, and they had like Skid Row didn't have like an official like about the music or whatever. Like Motley Crue has like a billion of those. Skid Row. But it's like I love learning about all those guys and where they came from. Most of them, I think, pretty much hailed from Jersey. And
do you want to hear a weird coincidence about Skid Row?
I would love to.
If you take the song 18 in Life and you cue it up to the movie Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, it works because Ricky was it tells the story of this young boy named Ricky, who's the main character of It's the Garbage Day Guy. So it actually matches. One day I want to sit down and edit the entire music video of 18 in Life to Ricky Caldwell, Garbage Day story.
God bless you, Jeff. Please do that. I
will just for you one day.
Yes, please.
We'll call it 18 in Garbage Day.
18 in Garbage.
Thank you for the Shiba Inu. How's it going? It is going great. I'm joined by two wonderful people. I've got Baby Outlaw and Cody, the Bassman, is here. So,
how you doing? I'm not that little bit too New York there. How you doing? Or howdy? Oh God, I have a character I want to capitalize on. I call her Molly McQueen. She's a vampire, and she's also like fucking all American white trash. So she comes from a place called Midnight, Mississippi, and it's super 80s, and it's super. They call her Molotov McQueen for short, and she just like fucking chucks Molotovs at people. And I'm just like, I want to like. Fucking, that pink-haired girl with the pigtails and the like bikini that I drew? It's on my Instagram. Yeah. That's her. I want to do. I love it. Yeah, definitely got that. She's all American white trash is what I call her, and I love it. I want to capitalize on her.
Gotta do a Molotov sandwich.
I hope you get
Now, Sweet Pea, since you're our Texan friend,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you random questions that other Americans won't. How do you feel about Big Tex, the statue? I've always wanted to see it in person, the one that graced you to the state fair. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah, every fucking time we go to the state fair. Like I live in Dallas, so like I live outside of Dallas. So we went to the state fair like every year up until like a few years ago because it was just becoming way too expensive. I think like a turkey leg is like 26 tickets now. And a ticket is $1. Oh. You know, $1 a fucking ticket. I'm like, what a bunch of crock. But yeah, we see Big Tex all the time. Like he's cool. I don't know if he still talks, but yeah, we used to have a lot of fun at the state fair. And I remember one time we went to the state fair with my dad. It was back when he used to be a big beer guzzler. And we came back home. We saw our grandparents, and they're like, "How did you like the fair?" And it's just like, "Well, did you get to ride any rides?" It's like, "No, Daddy spent all our money on beer. We didn't get to do anything." But now it's fun. Like maybe one day if y'all come down here, we can go to the state fair. We'll just save up like a bunch of fucking money to spend.
So, Sweet Pea, it's a goal of mine now that we know you to do a King of the Hill trip where I'm gonna pick all kinds of stereotypical Texas shit from one of my favorite TV shows ever. That's why I brought up Big Tex, because the episode where Luann goes up into the fucking mouth and talks, "Oh, Hank, I can't come down. They're gonna run." Like, I love that show so much. We went to a party with a guy who worked on the Star Wars Clone Wars show, and everyone was geeking out. His wife worked on King of the Hill. I didn't give a shit about Star Wars ever again. I messaged this guy to ask him questions to his wife. Like, do you guys have this towel that they gave the production crew? Is this true? Is this true? They're my fucking go-to every time. I love that show, and we're going to do a trip. I don't care. I got the money. I'm going to pay for it. We're going to go to the state fair. We're going to get the Texas turkey. Like, we're going to do all that shit.
Y'all going to have to do that next year because the state fair's over.
We're going to do it with the power of propane.
Propane. Definitely. Like, if y'all want to meet me up at the state fair, I'll fucking take y'all.
Propane and propane accessories.
So, oh my God.
I don't know why Jeff doesn't love me. I just noticed this during these streams. I always have to keep tilting the camera because he keeps getting further and further away from me.
Oh,
you guys notice that? I don't know.
No, but what was I going to say about? I did not realize this, that the same person who voices Cotton Hill is the same man who voices Khan.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, he's fantastic.
Did you ever grow up with The Adventures of Pete and Pete?
No, I didn't. I don't think I've even heard about that. Like.
Well, okay, because there was a kid show on Nickelodeon, and one of the main guys is that voice actor. Before he did a lot of voices, he was in that show as Artie, the strongest man in the world. I love that show.
That dude is so talented. I don't see many voice actors like him anymore. Like a lot of them just.
You know what he does? He's in like. Did you see the new Halloween movie from 2018?
I did see it.
He plays the dad, that stepdad that gets killed, the bald guy.
Are you serious? That's him.
That's Toby Huss. That's the guy. Yeah.
Oh my God. I watched it once and I was like, but I kind of started to think like, I'm just going to have fun with it. Like, I'm not going to get mad. Like they're bringing back the old cast. Like it's a real reunion. Like of the actors who played those kids, like you got like Kyle Richards and, playing her, Lindsay again in the new movie that's coming out. I'm like, wow, that's like really ballsy. And I remember there was an interview with Jamie Lee Curtis saying that like, it was just a big family reunion. That and she's always, that's why I have so much respect for Jamie Lee Curtis, is because she's always held Halloween in such high esteem, and she wears like a badge of honor, and she still to this day says it is the best movie experience that she has ever had working on a film. I love that.
We were just talking about that, how we don't like when actors, don't like to acknowledge their early roles in something horror, or different, or schlocky, or whatever, and how much we appreciate people like Jamie Lee Curtis or like Johnny Depp who talk about their, and things. I mean, for Johnny Depp, it was like a first opportunity, and he talks about how grateful he is for it. Yeah. And clearly, obviously, a huge opportunity for Jamie Lee Curtis as well. And so it's nice that people can acknowledge and recognize that and not try to act like it doesn't exist, even though it was like,
like
at the time you were probably fucking thrilled.
Yeah.
Don't ever forget where you come from.
Yeah, I wonder if we could get Paul Rudd back as Tommy Doyle.
If they would have asked. I mean, Anthony Michael Hall plays him now, so I mean,
what?
That's who's playing him in the new movie. It's Anthony Michael Hall playing him.
He's so old now. Oh my God, I didn't even fucking recognize him.
I don't think I would either. I think I've seen pictures of him, like he looks totally different.
I didn't recognize him in The Dark Knight.
I hate the shit out of Halloween 5, and I'd still rather have Paul Rudd back.
I actually, you're gonna hate me, Cody. I actually like 4 and 5.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
How?
do.
How?
I love
How do you get
Daniel-
past the masking for? How do you get past that? He looks so fucking
For one,
silly.
I really like
Which
the
movie?
girl.
The
Halloween
masking
4 and
for looks
5.
so silly.
I know.
Which
I
mask?
do.
There's two. Jesse, they fucked up. They're using unpainted,
There's so
flesh-colored Captain Kirk mask with blonde hair in a shot, and they went, we just forgot. But it's like he walks up and grabs the guy like this on frame. Donald Pleasance gets grabbed by Michael Myers, and the mask is different, and they don't fix it. They're like,
Oh, there are so many different masks. Like, I mean, the blonde, I remember like the reddish, and there's blonde. But I like the actress Danielle Harris. I think she is an understated scream queen. That child can act. At the time she could act. I thought.
Oh,
that
the kid, yeah.
Yeah, I thought the kid was fine. I liked Rachel. I don't like that they killed her in 5, and then we got Tina, which I'm not opposed to Tina because I like that she did sacrifice herself to save the kid. I thought that was really like noble, but there's certain things.
I think 5 was just a little too convoluted for me.
It was.
There's
it
a little
weird.
bit too much going on, like the fucking guy breaking him out of the police station and that kind of shit. Like,
no. Oh my god, yeah. I was like, what happened? And then all of a sudden they go to 6 and Jamie's pregnant and then dies on like a fucking like tractor saw or some shit like that. And then it's about the baby and Paul Rudd is the fucking movie.
And it's like different endings and like depending on which cut you watch, like it's completely different. Like
I love when movies are just wrong like that. When the movie's just broken. Nothing like it.
It's just like mid-90s dog shit horror. Like it's just like sequel bait. Like,
how did you feel about H2O? Did you like H2O?
I laughed my ass off at H2O.
Really?
Yeah.
Especially the one after that.
Busta Rhymes, like fucking
Busta Rhymes fucking fighting Michael. That was my favorite thing.
I really need to see this.
I laughed
Busta Rhymes
so
fucking
hard.
like shocks and awe on Michael Myers and takes him out. Even though Michael Myers is essentially invincible, Busta Rhymes like fucking does like a fucking roundhouse kick and knocks him out a door. I'm like, what?
Ass, yeah, it's great.
He's like going after little kids and women. How do you deal with a full-grown black man? Like or some shit like that.
It's like 60s Batman campiness. It's so bad. It's just so good.
Movie blog. Oh my, I love it too. I like, I have to like sit here. It's like sometimes you just gotta laugh.
I was like,
laugh.
It's like Jason in Space type of shit. It's like
God, Jason X.
There's a fencing parent she's apparently like notorious because well, not actually like beloved. And like everyone says she was wrongfully killed because she's in Jason Goes to Hell. And she is, I guess, like the whole thing is that he kills, the immoral, impure, blah, blah, blah. And she like didn't do it. Everyone's always been like justice for this one character because she didn't do anything wrong. She was the virgin. She was pure. She was all this stuff. And like, she shouldn't have gotten killed. And so this is like, there's been this like cult outrage about the fact that she died. And everyone wants it. So everyone like really wants her to go to all the horror cons and stuff like that. But she's just this mom out here who's like kids really into fencing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. That woman who played in the very first Halloween, she played the cheerleader who said totally all the time. I think I've only ever seen her in 2 movies. One is Carrie and then obviously Halloween. And she goes to horror conventions a lot. I mean, she just completely milks that. And I'm like, good for you, girl, because you did us a service with your boobies. You did. You have nice boobies. I'll say that, sorry. Excuse me. But
no, you're good. I just looked over.
I'm so offended.
I'm so offended. Like
I thought I caught you pancake raping again.
Davian's here. Hey, Davian. I'm gonna watch stream for fucking.
Okay? Did he get you hard?
Yeah, I'm bleeding.
Oh no! He didn't know it was you because he was fighting. Shabanga was fighting with him. So.
I'm watching Scream 5 for Nev Campbell. I love Nev Campbell. I think she's absolutely one of the sexiest women I've ever seen in my life. And she's like I love how she still does take up the role of Sydney instead of just like kind of going, I don't know why people just suddenly act like they're too good for something. It's like, it just bothers me. It just pisses me off.
They just act like they're going to always do better. And then sometimes like, maybe the first couple things you do is the best you're ever going to do.
Yeah.
Maybe you should sink more time into those first couple franchises you do. Maybe your role will be more respectable or maybe if you push harder and and rallied for those things to be a better franchise. And maybe they'd end up being not as a joke of a movie.
I feel like making a horror movie would be fun. That's one of my life. I'm not a big actor. I'm not a big fan of acting. It makes me very nervous, but I would love to be in a fucking shitty horror movie like the Hatchet series or something like that, and just be the dumb blonde Grizzly, all these other shitty movies, and a Wrong Turn too. Like, I would love that. I would love to be in like a spooky fun slasher film. Oh, Kitty. Is that the one that hit Jeff?
Yes, he was.
Why did he hit Jeff?
He is sorry.
Because you mistook me.
So he was lying on the ground, and Pancake was biting his neck. So and then Jeff came up to rub his belly, and he didn't see Jeff. He didn't realize it was Jeff. So he probably thought Pancake was jumping on him, or another one of the cats was jumping on him. So he tried to kick out.
Oh.
Where's the boo-boo?
Oh,
damn. There's blood.
I got my cat. I was asleep, and I guess I must have rolled my leg over on him because he likes to sleep at the edge of my bed. And I was dreaming, and in my dream, I was letting my dog outside, and all of a sudden, like, the dog runs out the door and smashes my foot, and I wake up, and the cat had scratched the shit out of my foot because I'd rolled it over there too close to him. It scared him. Like, blood coming. I was like, that's so weird how it was a pet that hurt me in my dream and in real life.
Weird.
It's weird, isn't it?
They just had to give the trip bags claws. No, they had to do the trip bags claws.
Pancake put 4 holes in my heel once with his teeth because I accidentally stepped on him a little bit.
Oh.
I deserved it. I stepped on him. I felt terrible. He was okay. He was fine, but I felt awful about it because he freaked out and he just instinctively just chomped down. And it was that's the only time our cats they never actually try to hurt you.
Right.
They just the only time they've ever drawn blood and stuff like that is when they just instinctively
gotten scared or spooked. Yeah, like any animal would and should protect themselves. But
it just sucks sometimes because you're like, dude, I wasn't doing anything, and then you think, the gashes.
Oh my god!
I wouldn't bite you. Why are you biting me?
Right? Lando will flip out on me and he'll kick off my chest, and I'll have like fucking rake marks.
Oh, my dog Zeppelin is like as black as night. I swear to God. Like, he's got a weird color. I take that back. It's not black as night, but it's almost like, you know how Nightcrawler blends into the night because of his blue, like, indigo fur and shit like that. Well, think of that as like my dog, except he's brown and tan and whatever, and he can lay on the floor. And I should learn my lesson by now. Is to look where I'm going. But I've tripped over him so many times where I've eaten my ass. I've like fucking fallen over a chair.
You what? You what?
How did you obtain that skill?
What? Hold on.
Tell us how.
You can make a lot of money if you can.
I'm telling y'all, that's something that happens with me. Sometimes weird fucking words just go together. Like I
sometimes eat your own ass.
This just happens. I fucking ate shit, tripping over him. Busted my kneecap open once, which is terrible. And he didn't even do anything. Like, he just lays on the floor, and I should know better. And I trip over him still, and he waddles out of the room, and it was just fucking fun. Like, I don't even know. I'm sorry I said that at all.
No, I'm not. You made the whole stream.
I eat my ass.
It's just, it came out so naturally too. It's just like, oh, okay, that's what they do in Texas. Fine.
I just eat my ass in Texas.
Look, at Texas barbecue is way different. We get it.
Everything is better in Texas and bigger, apparently. No, but I'm so down for if y'all guys want to go to the state fair, I'll take you to the state fair. We'll see all the big techs, and I hope big techs.
I want to see all the stuff cooked with propane.
Yeah,
and I want to be able to vote for
propane accessories.
Is this a thing? Jeff has to eat 100-pound Texas steak. Is there such a thing as 100-pound steak?
Probably somewhere.
There's a 72 ouncer that I'm willing to try because I know I can win.
There you go.
Oh.
If it's anywhere, it's in Texas.
Get me in front of one of those 72 ounce medium rare Texas cuts. I'll eat the fucking little potato, the little salad, and the little roll. And that's it. I'll win. Bobby Hill did it. I can do it. I don't even.
That's right. Damn right. I say that to myself. It's like, if Dale Gribble can smoke like a pack of cigarettes every fucking day, then so can I. Not get cancer.
Like that.
Yeah. Greg Kirby, we're gonna smuggle me across the border
in a fragile crate box.
We're not gonna tell nobody. All the people in this chat right now. I just swear to secrecy. Ain't nobody gonna tell nobody.
We'll just kill them all. It's fine.
You go smuggle me across the state line.
Oh, dude, like sometimes, yeah, exactly. Sometimes steak fat can taste good. You know, if you got the meat and steak fat on there, delicious. We like our grease down here in Texas, so
yeah.
But no,
I remember learning that, like, when we prepared brisket, when we do Jewish style, we cut the fat pad off. When I went to Texas, I learned that it was blasphemy. I mean, they will do the lean cuts, but it's like, dude, you're an asshole if you get the lean brisket.
Oh God, no! Like if you want your steak like well done, we will have a fit. Which is interesting because my dad likes his steaks well done. He does not like, but he partially grew up in Alabama, so we kind of think that's probably why he's like the way he is. But
those Bama folk can't be.
I actually have a bunch of Alabama hoodies from my brother.
So baby Ella, how do you get into the cult of Texas?
Well, everyone's pretty much welcome in Texas.
No, I mean like not on the official level. I mean like the cult of Texas.
Oh, under the table.
You got to eat some steak. You know, like what do you got to do?
You got to prepare your very first Texas barbecue. No vegetables, no anything. It's all nothing but meat. Make that shit as greasy as possible. You know, you have to feel like you are about to die of a goddamn heart attack when you're leaving somebody's house after you've had that barbecue. Then you have to do a lawnmower mowing lawn contest to see who can mow the lawn the best, who can keep their grass the best. And then I'm trying to think of all this stupid Texas shit. Like I'm just like thinking at the top of my head. Then you gotta, go to the state fair. You have to eat everything that is fried. You have to fry everything, butter, beer, everything. You got to prove to us that you are worthy to be in Texas. Can you do it? Are you up to the task?
No way.
Bassman.
How many people actually survive becoming Texans?
Not many.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I could do this.
Like the farthest I'll go, the farthest I'll go here is throwing like cheese and like a little bit of gravy and some fries. Like that's as far as I'm willing to go here.
I will. Okay, so you're gonna have to if I ever meet you, Cody, you're gonna have to make me some of that poontang. What the fuck they call it?
You can make poontang yourself? That's impressive.
You can make your own poontang.
Can I get the recipe for that, please? All right,
Cody's
what was it called again?
Hold on, I got a notebook right here. Let me get a pen.
I need Cody's poontang recipe forever.
All right. This is that shocking pen, by the way.
Oh shit! Why did you just get shocked by it?
It doesn't hurt. Feel it.
What was it called again, Cody? I feel so bad. I don't mean to insult you.
I hate that. I don't like it. I don't want it.
Yeah, what is wrong with my finger?
I don't want you to. I love that the pen got you though. Like finally, after it's been kicking around its wrapper for so fucking long, the shocking pen that I believe is probably TC the Mandalorian, who can't even enjoy this. I'm pretty sure I kicked off of YouTube forever ago. Sent me the shocking pen has shocked Jeff. So
you go.
So like I said before, there's two ways. There's two Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
There's a polite Canadian and then there's a trailer park Canadian. Okay. So there's two ways of saying poutine. So you can say it poutine like a trailer park trash piece of shit like I am.
Like me.
Or you can say poutine.
Poutine.
Which is
all the way.
Because it's French. It's technically it's French Canadian-ish, which is like
it still sounds nasty.
Which is kind of like the redheaded stepchild of French. Like Canadian French is not the same thing. And they don't even like each other.
Say the French version again, real quick.
Putain.
Okay, because there's a French word that's putain that does mean pussy.
Putain. Honestly,
hey, maybe we're onto something here. I don't know.
So poontang, poutine. I mean,
you can eat it all.
I just want Cody's poontang recipe.
I mean, if you stick your face in it like this, it probably makes the same amount of mess either way. So.
Oh my god.
What tastes better, Jeff?
I mean, I'm gonna go with whatever has gravy on it.
Okay.
So, by the way,
I don't. I can see that. I don't know what it was, but I can see that a decision has been made in space.
I have inadvertently
I will be
taken us
surprised.
down the horny road, and I love it.
Intriguing.
I do.
And it's not super unhealthy. We got the same thing. I gave you a healthier version, meaning like your side includes something more for you, and my side includes something.
He's speaking in mysteries and rhymes and riddles. And I don't know. Speaking of mysteries and rhymes and riddles, somebody who was a great purveyor of that in his work was J.R.R. Tolkien, at least in The Hobbit. And J.R.R. Tolkien's beautiful, brilliant work and legacy is being shat upon.
Yeah, it is.
By Amazon. Because guess what, guys?
What?
Hobbits are black now. And yellow and brown, and all colors.
How did that happen?
Misinterpretation.
Oh, wait. Is this possible though?
Willful misinterpretation.
Because there's got to be like different ethnicities in the Middle Earth, obviously. So
further east, more than likely.
Hear me out here. This is plausible. No, this is plausible. Like,
Jesse looks like she's about to jump through that fucking computer and get you, Cody.
I'm just saying. What if one of them ethnic races went into the Shire and said, "Hey, I kind of like this dude. He's cool," or "Hey, I kind of like this little chick. That's cool." And now we got ethnic hobbits.
So this.
Well, wouldn't they be biracial then?
So this is a like multi-thousand-year prequel to the Lord of the Rings, and this is supposed to be like the people, the Harfoots that ultimately become the hobbits as we know.
Yeah,
them
like
today.
there's no way. Like
so.
Yeah,
so they're specifically pulling from Tolkien's, or they think they are, from Tolkien's own history and own description of hobbits, where there are Harfoots and there are Fallowhides. And the majority of hobbits are Harfoots, and they're described as being browner skinned, more weathered, kind of working class style. Possibly, I don't know.
Swarthy, right?
But Fallowhides were, had more petite features, and there might have been something too where it was maybe they had some elven somewhere down the line, but they were a little more delicate feature, lighter skinned.
Maybe a little taller.
Thing is, as Tolkien specifically describes, the majority of hobbits, regular hobbits, the hobbits we know and think of as hobbits, are Harfoots. One of the notable Fallowhides, the Brandybucks. Brandybucks being a clan also known for being far too adventurous for your average hobbits, which, if I do recall correctly, is a trait of the Fallowhides. The Fallowhide hobbits are not as well accepted by the rest of the hobbits. This was the weirdness about Frodo. Frodo was part Brandybuck. He had a little bit of that in him. He wasn't full Baggins. And that was the weird part of him. They were considered the weirdos because you had Brandybucks who would even do business in Bree and stuff like that. It was unusual and unheard of for hobbits to venture out of the Shire, and yet Brandybucks mostly didn't live in the little village of Hobbiton. They yearned for a slight bit more adventure than your regular average hobbits, and that was normal for the Fallowhides, and thus the Fallowhides were actually the ones that were looked upon as the weirdos and the outcasts in Hobbit society. So guess what, Amazon? You are fucking wrong.
Yeah, they are wrong. It's just, they're trying to, do this stupid social agenda thing. And when you read like Lord of the Rings versus the Silmarillion, like Lord of the Rings almost reads like a fucking post-apocalypse. Like the way it reads is almost post-apocalyptic because all the magic in the world is starting to really just go away versus what it was in the Silmarillion. So it's like it's just interesting, and they don't understand what they're doing. They can have all, you can have all the scholarly bullshit level. It's never going to save anything from being badly written if you don't respect the source material. That's why I fucking cannot stand those new 2017 It movies. I fucking hate them with a passion. And
it's another day in Hollywood, folks. Here we are yet again, another franchise, the same way, the same things, focusing on color, focusing on the shit that none of the rest of us really even
care about,
because we love everybody and there's no issue to begin with. So this kind of shit is just forced in there because these people have an agenda. They have to get a message out, whatever that message is, and it's yet another franchise. It's yet another piece of literature from our favorite franchise, from our favorite brand, that we just have to ignore and just have to put off as modern woke trash. And it's sad because you want to be able to look forward to this new stuff, to the new Star Warses, to the new Star Treks, to the new Jurassic Parks, to the whatever. Put any franchise in that, and it's the same type of deal nowadays. It's all a woke vehicle in order to tell a message, whatever that message may be. It's not pure anymore. It's gone. All this stuff is gone. That's
For
what it is.
mainstream, at
Another day.
least, it is.
Adding this wokeness too misses the point. It's just like adding race as a factor and gender as a factor and all that shit as a factor in Star Wars. Adding it to Lord of the Rings misses the point as well. Race
also
is
irrelevant.
already a factor in Lord of the Rings. You have tons of different races in Lord of the Rings. You have hobbits and men and elves and dwarfs. And guess what? Amongst the men, you do have visual, physical diversity. In their features, you have ones from different regions with different tones of skin, different features. All of that stuff is in there, is part of it already amongst the humans. And amongst the species that aren't fucking human, it doesn't make sense to apply human modern ideals to a fantasy fucking world. That's the narrow-mindedness of these people, though.
Stephen Skyver, I feel so blessed now. He's graced us with his presence. Oh my god! No, I feel so like I sounded so fucking stupid saying that. Excuse me.
It's okay. Just have to make
honestly,
sure.
Lord of the Rings in itself is kind of like a microcosm of, race relations in itself. Like all these different races, all these different colors, all these different people getting together to fight evil. And that's what matters. The people that are evil and the people that are good, not elves, not men, not whatever else in between. It's all about good versus evil. And that's just the same way in the real world. Like there's people that are good and don't see people as elves or whatever else. And they see good and evil. Evil as being as people that see people as colors, seeing people as, just things to manipulate and things to change their mind and change their opinion and change their politics. And that's all they care about. And these are the people that are running our favorite franchises right now. And that's fucked up.
Agreed.
So we can't
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but what's up, Uncle Ethan? How are you?
Hi, Uncle Ethan.
It's wonderful to see you. I'm here with these awesome. I don't know if you know these guys, Ethan, but this is Baby Outlaw, also known as Sweet Pea. Well, only I and Jeff, and maybe you get to call her Sweet Pea. Who knows? And Cody the Bassman. Two brilliant, awesome, amazing, talented YouTubers who are
Jeff.
Actually, you might know this guy. He's a big fan. He's a big fan. So if you could just, a little shout out or something.
One day.
But no, these two are absolutely lovely.
You're an inspiration to everybody, man. Really. You keep up the good work.
Yeah.
No pressure, but since I totally fucked up sending you the link last time when I was like, I should send you the link, and you were like, yeah, totally, and I didn't. If you are bored and you'd like to come fuck around in here and shake things up a little bit, we've had ass eating, we've had Cody's poontang recipe. It's been a great night.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. You got it.
We've also had Fruit Loops gummies, which just taste like Fruit Loops, and it's unsettling because
I don't like that. I would never want to eat a Fruit Loop gummy. I just want to have the crunchy, milky Fruit Loops.
Oh my god! He says send the link, and then I don't know. Was it the poontang or was it the gummies? What was
he don't want to know my poontang.
He's like, no, I don't need it. I have my own poontang recipe. Thank you.
It's too much of a Canadian thing.
Yeah. Flaming TP. I changed originally. The reason why my name changed so many times because Sweet Pea is a super old handle, and I had no idea that I was going to make friends in the streaming community. And so everyone started calling me Sweet Pea and recognizing me as Sweet Pea. Well, my name is actually Montana. Like the state, that's my legitimate name. And so I wanted to change it to that. But then I thought, well, I kind of want to be a content creator like these other guys. They inspired me so much. And I don't think I can just bank on just Montana. So I decided to do Baby Outlaw because I'm a huge fan of Westerns and I'm from Texas. And so what better way to just come on here with my adorable self and call myself Baby Outlaw, Still have that southern snake bite though, so watch out.
Ooh, speaking of too, you had a great idea. So at some point, guys, and this is when I need to pimp my Discord. Y'all need to go join the Mindless Mob Discord, because that's where shit is getting real. I guess just find an invite link. Oh, it's on my link.
The Discord server has really started blowing up.
Yeah.
It was real quiet to begin with, but now everyone's talking and getting along. The community is becoming really well like we're all like a little family over there, and it's real fun and nice, and you know, it's cool. So my idea was, now the only reason I say that it involves a PS4 is because I own a PS4.
Wow.
If anybody owns
So Ethan, I did send you the link if you do want to join the poop. You know.
Anybody who has played Red Dead Redemption 2, there's an online feature where you can essentially create your own character and go in an online world and then roam around the map and do all sorts of very
sweet. I'm gonna have to interrupt you real quick. Don't freak out, okay?
Okay. Oh, cool. Hi, Ethan.
What's up?
What?
Ethan, long time no see, my friend.
Yeah, how are you guys? Hello,
we are wonderful.
I'm digging the hat.
I am too. It looks very American.
Thank you.
I like it too. It's very cool.
Cody, does it make you uncomfortable?
It reminds me of what's coming up for me, which I don't know if you guys know what winter is, but
never heard
of it. Well, I found out what winter was last year. Well, like earlier this year. I don't ever want to experience that again, ever. I don't like the snow.
Winter shuts down Texas and California. Y'all don't know you don't know what winter is. And honestly, I got like pussy winter, because Canadian winter is like same thing. There's two versions of Canadian winter. There's pussy winter, and there's like really bad, awful Alberta winter.
Yeah, Texas, we don't have fucking winter. Okay, but you don't get that like 120 goddamn degree weather down here every summer. Okay, so bring it on.
Give me some fucking sun.
Jesus fucking Christ, Ethan. You show up and all anyone can talk about is the weather. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Just like the most boring person to stream with I've ever met. Jesus.
Ask his opinion on the Fruit Loops.
Yeah. How do you feel about Fruit Loops gummies?
Are they THC?
No, just regular Fruit Loops flavored.
They're disappointing. That's all I got.
I got some Halloween candy today. I'm abstaining from it mostly. But,
candy corn?
Yeah, candy corn pumpkins.
Yes, finally. Dude, I get shit. I like candy corn and I like the pumpkins. I'm not going to apologize. Eat two right now.
Yeah, candy corn and pumpkins. I got some ice cream flavored lollipops.
Ooh, those are good.
Which were pretty good. And then just a nice, I got a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Ghosts.
Ooh.
Which are
there
good
you
too,
go.
Yeah.
I saw that there was the Peeps. Peeps has ghost marshmallows. We need them. We must have them. I must have them.
Yeah, Peeps. Well, that's
season.
You want to do that for Halloween, or you want to wait until Easter for those?
Peeps are like an all year round thing for me.
Really?
Oh, I thought that was a Jesus joke. Ghost? I was like, damn.
Deep tracks. You can't kill the Easter creatures until the time of resurrection. That's how Christianity works, right?
No, he'll be back in 3 days.
Okay.
Hi, the Bassman. How are you? My name's Ethan.
Wait, what? I missed the whole thing.
No, I haven't. I don't know the Bassman.
It's the Bassman. Yeah, I don't get down. I don't get down with the bass. I wish I could be the Bassman.
Yeah, so you're a fisherman.
I wish. Yeah, ish. I'm a bad one.
You're a bad fisherman.
Don't count on me to live, man.
Oh, okay, all right. But that's what you do, though. You like to fish. Do you have a boat?
No, I like to fish in the docks. I said, I'm not a good fisherman.
But it's what you named yourself. Is there anything better that you do? No,
he makes
that's the
great
best
content.
I make some like half decent videos sometimes.
Oh my God, that makes one of us.
Make some pretty good logos sometimes.
Dude, this
guy. I've been called the Rain Man of logo makers.
I call him the Rain Man of logo makers because I literally sit on my streams and I say words about like I'd love to have a T-shirt that looks kind of like this or that or that, and then like the next day, Cody sends me an email and it's whatever I was thinking in my head. He somehow stole from my head and put onto a shirt. And then
your name's Cody.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Cody. You make logos. Did you make the ones that are behind you?
Yeah. I made everything. Yeah.
They're beautiful, man. You really are good.
Yeah. The screen that's green on my end here is all done by me. Yeah.
Are you for hire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, man.
For free, actually. I don't charge for my stuff because I use a program that's actually it's like 21 years old this year, I believe. So it's actually old enough to drink with me.
I keep telling him he needs to charge for his stuff because it's not about how easy it is for him to do it or the quality of the stuff he's working on, but the quality of the results he's able to make.
I just don't feel right because it's,
I know,
like professionals nowadays use modern equipment, higher resolution.
Shush. I'm hearing a lot of excuses.
there'll be standards for that, but when you see me take your logo, put it on a t-shirt and make a couple dozen $1,000 on it, you'll be like, where's my money? Where's my cut of that? So you got to just accept the
it's true to an extent, but I also like to support the cause too. It's all about the community. I do the cause. Yeah, it's all about the cause.
He's like forfeited that.
It's all about helping the people out. I do a logo for Baby Outlaw for free. I do a shirt for her for free.
Oh yeah, he just popped up in my DMs.
Cody, I'm going to give you some professional advice right now. Stop being humble right now. Like this second in this particular moment in your life.
I do it for fun.
In your life.
And there's no reason. There's no reason I should treat Ethan different than I treat Baby Outlaw.
It's not because it's Ethan, and it's not because it's anybody else. It's because I have been telling you this for months. And now that there is enough of a majority standing here with me, all saying the same thing, it's not about that it's Ethan. It's about that there's now 4 people who can all sit here in person and tell you, stop being so humble because what you do has value, and it is
really
ridiculous. It is ridiculous in the world that we live in. It is absurd to not accept the value for the quality of work that you do.
So what you're saying is I should make money off of the stuff I do?
You should not. Yes, you should. You absolutely
and
have
the reason why is because I really like to, like when I need something, like I have a couple of logo designers that I go to, and the fact that I have money to pay them it gives me the right to demand that it get done at this point, and then I can return it if I don't like it. That's different. Yes. Commerce. That's actual business. I can go, yo, dude, what are you doing? I need this and I need this, and I need it by then. And I mean that's why I like to pay.
That's
people.
Different. That is okay.
And when we use it and everything, and I don't want to feel bad because the Cyberfrog logo, the Salamandroid logo, they're everywhere. I put them everywhere. I make money off of them. And so the All Caps Comics logo, I put everywhere. I make money off of that. So I like to just do a quick buyout contract and make sure that the artists are paid. It's a good idea.
Actually, just what you said there, Ethan, about like the way you feel about it. That's why I get so visceral. That's why I'm yelling at you, Cody. And that's why I get so visceral and
Be
passionate
professional.
About this.
People want to be able to, if you're a logo designer, people want to be able to make demands of you and because they're paying you.
But it's not just that too. It's that if for us as because for other people who work in a commerce driven field, we feel better, right? You will have better relationships actually with your creators if you charge a fair price for your work, because people want it's not that we're telling you take money because you have to or you should or you need to make money off of it. You should, because people will want to pay you for the work you do, and that's part of the transaction is giving people what they want, right? People want to give you money for the work you're doing because they feel it has that value and they feel you are owed that money for the work you've done. And so to refuse that money and refuse that transaction affects your business relationship with them because you've refused the thing that they want. So that's why I think I get so bad about it, because it's not that it's like, oh, you have to charge people so that they take you seriously or anything like that. But it's like to establish those lines of communication and those relationships that make people want to keep coming back to you. It's important to have that language,
A good logo will make a lot of money. I'm just saying. I know a lot of people that are in like the marketing design and stuff like that, and they make a lot of fucking money. Like you could really make it into, if you wanted that. I understand if you don't want to like turn it into a job, because sometimes that happens to artists. They'll be like, oh, I don't like this. Like I don't want to have to do this now. But
I think what I'm stuck up on is like I'm not really willing to. Well, as of right now, like I'm not willing to pay to have the higher end equipment, the higher end programs. So like if you pay somebody that's in the industry or somebody that puts the money towards that program, like I just feel like I'm taking their business away by using 20-year-old programs.
That's a bullshit answer, because I used my old computer and
when was the pencil invented?
Hold on, I used my 10-year-old program for this, and I bought new equipment for the next thing. I didn't wait to do.
When was the pencil invented? When was the pencil invented?
1653.
Bam.
That's a guess.
There you go.
Let me find out when the pencil was invented. That's actually a good question.
Yeah, actually, though,
what year was the pencil invented? 1986. That's not true. Way before then. 1795 by Nicholas Jacques Conte, a scientist serving the army of Napoleon Bonaparte. The magic material that was so appropriate for the purpose was the form of pure carbon that we call graphite. And this guy looks like a maniac. I've never seen anybody quite like him. No, he does. Let me just show you. This is embarrassing. And if this guy was me, I would, and I invented the pencil, I would hire somebody else to pretend to be me. Look at him. Look at this guy.
Oh, is that an eye? Is that an eye patch?
What is happening?
He's got an eye patch on.
It's just one eyebrow that's crooked. I think. Is it just like one eyebrow?
The guy that invents the pencil as a pencil.
This is like Phantom of the Opera got some plastic surgery or something.
And by the way, they suck. You know what I mean? Like, look at the pencil. That fucking sucks. Excuse my language. These are no good.
It's a fucking carpenter's pencil.
Go back to the. You can't go back to the drawing board. You need a pencil. Figure it out. Like. Man.
I know a lot of artists who shave their pencils down like that, and it fucking drives me nuts. Like, it's like, what are you doing? Stop! Like,
I used to have that
you have a nice little point.
Pencil point, a pressure for years. Ugh.
So
people are saying he looks like Jeff. Honestly,
harsh.
Thanks, Greg Kirby.
Greg Kirby said it looks like Jeff. I think Jeff is much more handsome.
I didn't invent the pencil.
I don't.
I don't get to be in that level. I'm just okay with them.
No Greg Kirby sitting there looking exactly like that picture.
I'm sorry.
By the way, hi, baby Outlaw. I didn't get introduced to you either.
How are you today, sir?
It happened again.
Yeah. I took my time. I wanted to spend a little time getting to know Cody, and then I was like, I'll work my way up to baby Outlaw.
Okay, don't worry. I'm here. I'm very patient. It's very cool to meet you. I've been a big fan of your channel. I don't comment on a lot of stuff, but you're the first one I found. Actually, Jesse's the first one I found, but you're the second one I found during the Star Wars stuff, and I was just invested in what was going on, and so I'm just really, really impressed with how you have made such a living off of YouTube and like what you've got going on now. I think that's really cool, and so it's
Star Wars Wars. Remember, guys?
Star Wars Wars.
Star Wars Wars.
When we were fighting.
The old days.
The old days.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing to fight now. I don't know. Is there?
Mm-hmm.
I just I zoned out after Gina Carano.
There really isn't, Ethan, and people are just trying to look for shit to fight. It's
becoming.
That's where we are right now, man.
It really is.
It was a bad breakup. This was you detaching yourself from Star Wars going forward. It's such a difficult thing to do, especially how long it's been in most of our lives.
We were just discussing, Ethan, actually, how we're coming up to another moment of reckoning like that with the Lord of the Rings, and how now hobbits need diversity and hobbits need to be black and Asian and Maori and all of this shit. And I think I'm actually, guys, this is my first time saying this publicly. I don't even think I've said this to Jeff. I'm not going to watch the show. I'm not going to do it to myself.
I don't give these people my money. I don't even give them my time.
Money because I've got an Amazon Prime subscription and shit. It's just about the feelings. Like, I've already been through it with the Hobbit trilogy and seeing how much
same here.
Bastardized what could have been a beautiful piece of work.
It really could have.
And it didn't make me happy. It didn't make me feel good to go see those movies. I didn't have any desire to watch them again. It didn't add anything to my experiences of The Hobbit or of Jared Tolkien's material. And so I don't need them in my life. And having that experience, having experienced the sequel trilogy, and if I hadn't made so much goddamn money off of it, wishing to God I could go back and scourge it from my memory, I have an opportunity to go, I could watch the show and talk about it and rip it apart and blah, 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 or I could pretend it doesn't exist and never have to be confronted with some bastardized, upsetting bullshit version of Middle Earth that Jared Tolkien himself is probably rolling over in his grave over.
He's spinning.
At what point does this become promoting these shows for these people? Like, at what point is it, oh my God, Jesse said this about this show, I gotta watch it now, see it for myself.
Yeah.
Are they almost in that circle now with the gay Superman thing? And it's I really become aware of it, that I'm like right in the middle of it. And it is a game. Like, I found out about gay Superman a while ago. You know, somebody at DC Comics told me, and so I just went. I'm telling everybody. I'm gonna ruin this shit. You guys just announced Robin was gay a week ago. Now Superman's gonna be gay. You're waiting 2 months so it cools down. Nope, they're gonna know right now. And so I told everybody, and it was funny because you know, nobody denied it at DC, and I know everybody's mad at me, but that's what's funny about it. Now that it's been released and now that everybody actually knows, you see the whole machine of like, we don't like this. We do like this, you know, doing this, and everybody's making money off of this tension. And then there's the company itself that is looking for those big short-term gains off of, you know, this one single issue where there's so much controversy, and I contribute to it and they contribute to it. And this whole fight is all about making a corporation money. And I'm becoming more and more of a radical as this goes along. Like, I used to just kind of be like, yeah, but you know, it is what it is, and I'll participate and I'll cash a check. I don't want to. I don't want to be a part of this. Like, I really it makes me sick. I don't know how to like it's so fake. And you look at YouTube now, and everyone has a video with Superman kissing that little Asian kid. That one image is like used over and over again. We hate this. We love this. These people are bigots. These people are chuds. These people are
no. You heard that forever. No, I agree with you, Ethan. I've seen this. Like, it started becoming just too much. It was too much. It's like, how long are y'all gonna keep bitching about this shit before y'all actually like do something about it?
Well, people are promoting it.
People are promoting it.
We're promoting it for them.
It's goddamn predictable at this point.
It is.
You know, the next thing comes along, that the little hobbit, the interracial hobbits or whatever. Like, you know, these people are gonna fucking post millions of videos about the same shit.
I think a great case in point too, though, is like it's just this last James Bond movie. If you guys watch my review of it, you know that I don't think that the movie was typically woke at all in very many ways. I don't think it was good at all either. It was bad for a lot of different reasons. Very, very bad. Very bad. Very embarrassing. An embarrassment to James Bond and absolutely disrespectful to the James Bond franchise on every level, but not woke. I mean, pointedly, the character there, Lashana Lynch is going to be so woke, so woke, so woke. Okay, so we introduced our sassy black woman character who, you know, wants to be all uppity with Bond. Now, first of all, she's pointedly not a Mary Sue because she's got a line in the beginning of "I worked for all this, blah blah blah."
And the best part is she gets her shit pushed at every turn.
And yes, she never has a moment. There's never a moment where she gets to show him up. She comes in there wanting to prove how great she is. He shows him up the whole time. Finally, she, not anyone else putting her in her place, decides that, yes, he has earned her respect. And she, the black woman, elects to give her respect to the white man.
Rob and I were talking, that might have been one of the reshoots.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at that whole scene where she,
because that movie feels, even though it doesn't feel chopped up like other movies, it feels like they've gone back and changed stuff. Like, we're not, I bet you $5. The movie that we were going to see last April is not what we saw. And I would pay again to see that edit.
And I believe too that there is probably a very, very woke Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
There's a Phoebe Waller-Bridge edit.
But the funny thing is you now have all these people trying to cash in on the anti-woke narrative. Oh, we hate this movie because it's woke. We hate it because it's woke. We hate it because it's woke.
Yeah. But nobody knows what woke means. I mean, there's like even SJWs don't even know what woke means. During all of this Superman stuff, today somebody posted something and I responded to it. They said Action Comics was woke. Action Comics #1. They said in that issue, Superman stopped an innocent man from being executed on death row. He broke up a fight, a husband beating up his wife, and he also got involved in fighting against government corruption. And I was like, none of that's woke. Like, at best, that's liberalism. At most, that's just plain old justice. It's not social justice. There's nobody in the world that would go, there's no side of the aisle that goes, this man's on death row and he's innocent, fucking kill him anyway. There's nobody that would say that. We'd fight to get him freed. There's nobody who looks at a husband smacking his wife and says, that's okay. That's called domestic abuse. It's illegal. If you can step in and intervene, you will. Anybody would do that. And as for government corruption, that's what Trumpism was about, draining the swamp. It's like, you know what I mean? That is what, there's no way you could call that woke. You can call it a lot of different things. Either side can grab that and say that's conservative, that's liberal. but it isn't woke. You know, woke is different. If Superman were woke, he would prioritize who he rescues out of a burning building by the color of their skin.
Yeah,
by whoever is the most victimized, whoever's the you know, on the top of the progressive stack. That's what woke is.
Yeah.
It's like a radicalized individual almost.
No, wait, you're telling me that woke doesn't mean any movie where the main character dies?
Let me read you a direct
Listen to this shit,
quote, a comment on my video
this
earlier.
Is how dumb this shit has gotten, dude.
Okay, this is a direct quote. They killed off James Bond. The point of the movie was to get rid of the iconic white character. It's woke, QED.
Did they fucking watch the movie?
So by that logic, Gladiator is woke. Terminator 2 is woke.
The New Testament
Logan
is
like the
woke.
wokest fucking movie ever.
I mean,
they're looking for it now. They're trying to seek it out.
Oh yeah, they got the woke glasses on. I mean, anything and everything. I remember when Fear Street came out, everybody and their grandma, at least the ones that I knew, were talking about how woke it was. I'm like, I didn't find it woke at all. I mean, yeah, it has like woke point, like what you would think would be woke, like a lesbian couple, you know, being the main leads. But for the most part, it was pretty indiscriminatory about who it fucked up in the end. And it was just about a town curse, like, you know.
That's the funny thing. Being gay ain't woke, because if it was, then fuck every gay conservative person. Like, they're out there. They exist.
Yeah, they
like,
do.
Avengers Endgame is also woke.
Oh yeah, Endgame is super woke movie.
Is the white lead and he dies. He's the $1 billion.
Yeah, fuck Endgame. Too woke.
But Endgame's a woke movie.
Super woke movie.
So
the Star Wars movies were woke.
Yep.
Solo had woke in it. It wasn't a woke movie, but it contained woke. You know, all of those things are real, and you've got to just understand what that is and be able to point it out so that you're not just you know, a wind-up monkey with symbols, you know, woke, everything's woke. And everybody wants everything to be woke at this point. And our side of the aisle, because there's money in it. There's just money in it.
That's all it is now. It's just free PR for these assholes. It's like, you do not realize you are all being fucking hornswoggled. You say that you don't like the man, but yet you give him your money, you give him your time, you give everything to him because it's making you fucking money, but it's also making him money. Like, you mean
like caring so much about hating Hollywood, hating the Hollywood elite, hating everything they stand for, but wanting to suck Zack Snyder's dick as soon as he presents it to you?
Oh, that was so fucking funny. I'm an asshole for saying that. That was fucking hilarious. I thought, wow.
That was the moment, by the way, that the fandom menace just went, we're not what we think we are. And split in like 3 or 4 different directions.
100%. But now, see, hearing you say this, Ethan, hearing you say, I've been confused, right? I've been confused about why I'm apparently one of your disciples. Apparently, all I do, Ethan, is just listen to everything you say. And you teach me, you tell me.
You should stop reading his comics.
And
look, she's read the Sex X-Men issue 1,000 times. Please.
Really?
And I mean, look, it's just it. You clearly, behind closed doors, spend all of your free time just telling me what to go around saying to promote your personal narrative. And that's all I do. Now, I understand why people are saying this now, though, because I feel like I'm on an island. We've been on this fucking island saying the same shit. It's not about whether you're left or you're right, or you stand for this or you stand for that. It's about if you're just sticking your flag in the sand and fighting for your camp and fighting anybody else who tries to take your flag away, then you're part of the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was telling, I think I was telling Cody this, that like, oh shit, I lost my train of thought.
It's all right, because I got to catch some super chats anyway. So we'll go in reverse order because the last one was from, where did it go?
I was going to say it was like, it's just the same like I've told Jeff this before too. It's like the same conversation getting passed around in a circle ad nauseum, and there's no fucking end in sight. And it's like, I'm tired of it. And I know there's a bunch of other people that are tired of it too. I think the time is so rife with change, and it's like, this is the moment where it's time to, you know, really start digging in the fucking sand and actually, you know, promote independent media and promote independent comics, make your own shit. You know, it's like, write what you want to read. You can be successful at it if you market yourself properly. And these guys, it's like all they talk about, to me, I feel like they're a bunch of jocks that infiltrated nerd culture and are, you know, essentially saying that they're here. We love Star Wars. We love this. And like, no, you're not. You just in it for the fucking politics and the money.
It's as disingenuous as the people who came in and wanted to put all the woke shit in on the other side.
It's like Collider.
Yeah. And I think
thankfully Collider went away.
Yep. I think that's exactly that.
Well,
Social justice Jesse obviously is very triggered. He began to that trigger. I'm bleeding. Words hurt. Help me.
Help. I like help.
Help.
Yeah. So is this new Lord of the Rings deal the same thing? You know,
I would just ignore it. Yeah,
they're hyping it up. It's going to be just another shitty TV show, or it's just going to be.
Well, I mean, if you want to sit there, here's the other side of that argument. You know, if you want to sit there and say and instruct other people, because again, you know, we're losing sight of what woke is.
Right.
People. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to read that one? I'll talk about it.
Andy McCallum says my leg is still killing me. Hail EVS, big fan. Cody, take the damn money, bro.
All right.
Hi, Andy.
He's like, all right.
And Greg Kirby knows what woke is. Hobbits are orange and Gandalf is a woman. That's woke.
That's what'll happen. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you do want to talk about. I can't talk about Star Wars anymore because I can't watch
I don't blame
it.
You.
Because of what they did to Gina. But when it comes to the Hobbit, or if they're going to do the Lord of the Rings ongoing series or something? What are they doing?
Something like Silmarillion, like based something. From what I understand,
it's
like before. Way prequel.
They're talking like origins of Hobbit. So, this is I have a Hobbit tirade, by the way, for you guys.
Well, let me say this before you do that. I just want to say this about the Hobbit. I want to say it's okay to review that and talk about it for what it is because they didn't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
You know, they're social justice warriors. You want to talk about how social justice impulses actually ruin art and commerce.
Yeah.
Do that. Talk about what the Hobbit actually is and all of this stuff. But that's fine.
But that's the point, right? And it kind of ties into what they're doing with the show. Feels like the Hufflepuff craze. I'll just read these real quick. Greg Kirby says we need to play the game What the Dub. That
like
sounds
sandwich dub.
Fun.
You got it, dude.
Epstein's Ghost. Thank you for being here, Epstein's Ghost. Thanks to the great entertainment
back,
guys.
By the way,
welcome back. So we had this thing that happened with Harry Potter. Hufflepuff was the loser house. Hufflepuff was the catch-all. Like you're just a regular, boring person.
Fucking hate Hufflepuff.
I'm sorry. And then one fucking day, the social justice crowd got a hold of the idea of a Hufflepuff and twisted the just catch all whatever nothing house into it's the everybody house. It's the forces female house. It's the house that's for everybody. The Hobbit or this new Lord of the Rings series is set at the beginning is at the premise of this entire series is for it to be the like origins of hobbits story. Hobbits, who J.R.R. Tolkien famously describes as fucking boring. As literally, if anybody does anything interesting, different, or out of the ordinary, they're pretty much treated like an outlaw and excommunicated. So why on earth would we want to watch the story of how a group of fat little people become farmers? And the reason is because it's the perfect vessel to put this skin color and that skin color and that skin color and tell a beautiful story of diversity in Middle Earth. And that is exactly where entertainment in this front is going to suffer at the hands of identity politics. Because there's no reason to tell the story of hobbits forming the Shire. That's the most boring story
Isn't that just the town they live in, like the little area?
That's like,
So it would
that's
just
like,
literally be like them building houses into hills and shit, and like
like
up
digging
the
out
bar.
That's like, okay, pick like the least exciting time in American expansion, like a time where they just went into a new state that no one else wanted.
1986 Montana.
And we're like, cool, this is ours now. Like, that's as exciting as the hobbits founding the Shire is.
So are they trying to like make this really boring story more interesting? Or are they trying to like make it more interesting to the people around them by adding in this whole supposedly identity politics? Like, what if you watch the show and it's just boring and there's no identity politics?
Well, that's
they've kind of like done this before. They pulled the wool over your eyes. It's like, oh, we're gonna add all this shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's like Star Trek where like all the identity politics is actually there and all that shit is present for sure. But then there's like other movies where it's like, oh, well, there really isn't that much at all. Like, what happened? Like James Bond. Like, I thought the movie was going to be completely woke by the way they kind of sold that movie.
Exactly.
You'd think it'd be, you'd think it'd be completely woke, and you watch it, and exactly, there's really not that much woke in it at all. And are they is this kind of like a new trend? Is this kind of a new thing to get their movie, to get their show, to get their thing talked about? Because they know if they say, oh, well, we're going to do this, like people on the internet are going to go crazy. Like, is this a marketing ploy? Is this a ploy?
It's definitely marketing ploy, but I think the reason too, like even with the gay Superman, when you make your thing called the same thing, Google's what I'm getting at. When
Super
you Googled
gay.
Ghostbusters for years after that movie came out, you always got the women one.
Mhm.
Today, when I Googled Superman, I put the filter onto all in the regular settings, and I got all the new stuff before I even got a picture of regular Superman. All these names are recognizable. And so what you're doing is you're selling this brand to that next generation because we've conditioned people to think if a movie's 10 years old, it's too old to watch. You probably have enough people that won't watch Lord of the Rings because it's too old. So they make something stupid like this, and it doesn't kill the old thing. It ruins the old thing for the old audience. And then this new audience doesn't give a shit because it was never going to be cool in the first place.
Well,
and it sucks.
I think it's just that. I think that people who create stories have forgotten that there are universal themes that always ring true. And they only want to create for the here and now and the current time and place. And so then exactly. So then identity politics is just that. It becomes the trigger that trips us into not being able to have a real conversation because it's, well, this movie has identity politics, so you should go see it because we have X number of black people and X number of this people, X number of that people. And that triggers a whole group of people into going, well, I will not see your movie for those reasons. And then people go to see that movie and go, oh, wait, that's not really what it's about. But it's just not good. And then the people, you know, who are already fighting the assholes who, and I hate this already because I don't like, you know, these things are now getting lumped into that category. And that's where it just all trickles into this us versus them pushing and pulling each other apart.
And I'm tired of it, honestly.
That's why even when you go back to The Last Jedi, you know, Ethan's right. There's wokeness in those movies, but there are so many ways, and I do that in my first fucking review. There are so many ways to talk about that movie and criticize its failures as a film without mentioning the race, ethnicity, gender identity, whatever, of any of the characters.
I think there's such an emphasis on the aesthetic of everything, which it's style over substance. And I think that's why a lot of people of this generation's, the Gen Z, don't want to watch the older movies because it doesn't look good to them. And I think they equate what looks good to being like an actual good property when it's really, no, it's like Jaws is a phenomenal movie. Like I was talking about this earlier, how like, oh, I won't watch because the quote unquote graphics are bad. And I'm just like, it's not graphics, you fucking idiot. It's practical effects. It's all mechanical. And it's a wonderful story. And the story transcends the way it looks, right? You know, any like great story will always transcend its genre. Just like, you know, that's why I do prefer watching a lot of older movies, or I can go and find independent films on Shudder, on Amazon. Like you can find the stuff if you look for it. And that's the problem.
Well,
like,
we interacted with young people yesterday. I used to say this on my show. It was hard to communicate with those dudes. It was like they were on drugs or they were stupid. Realistically, it wasn't either. It's that they are so much younger and don't like the one dude you could barely understand when he was trying to get money for Dare, goes, let me hide, like he was running at this guy, like who the fuck taught you to ask for money? And then the other guy, they were nice, but they were just so weird. And I don't think they were weird people. I think a lot of people that are in that age group that's what normal to them is. And that's like we were basically ran into the social media in real life. Like they weren't bad guys and I dislike them, but
no, but like they were like
meme culture, you know,
caricatures of people.
They were is it humans, and it was weird. And but that's like the next like the slightly younger people. Like the people are 10 years older than me. Like
it's almost like a respect, like a lack of respect or like a lack of knowledge for what came before.
I really think it's just an ignorance. I think it's you know people not wanting to actually do the time and the effort it takes to watch some of these older films. I'm like, without these older films, you wouldn't have what you have today. You have to respect that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of saying. Like they didn't experience like going from like a Ray Harryhausen like a claymation almost to going from like, you know, the animatronics in Jurassic Park to like a CGI type of thing in Jurassic Park. They did never experience that. Like Jaws, like okay, like nowadays, like in that kind of sense, like it doesn't look as good as maybe as it could have been. In today's
I think it still looks great. I think it looks real. You know that those movies, especially movies by Spielberg, are so cinematically convincing. I mean, Poltergeist is another one where you feel like you're just watching something that you know actually
really
was
happening.
real.
This is groundbreaking.
I mean, I've never seen. There aren't too many other directors who can do that. Early Martin Scorsese, Mean Streets. You know, he was able to do that and create a convincing world where you just feel like you're just listening in to something that's actually happening. By the way, in the chat, Movie Block says, and I like Movie Block, so I'm watching what he's saying. He's smart. He says Captain Marvel wasn't even that woke. And we might agree it wasn't even that woke. It wasn't that. It was Brie Larson. Brie Larson.
She's the fucking problem.
Talking about, you know, like the demographics, the skin color and sexual, gender of the people who were in the media and demanding that fewer white males be allowed to interview her for this movie.
So fucking
That's
stupid.
what was woke. And then that was attached to
woke,
a whole bunch of just annoying shit about her. Maybe she was young. Maybe she's just stupid. But her her Instagram post about Stan Lee really got under my skin. Where
I remember that.
Remember when she's like sitting there drinking and wearing like expensive clothing and everything, and she's like, "Yo, rest in peace, Stan Lee, peace."
We were on that show together when you were talking about how mad you were. We were all
that pissed me off. Yeah, and I just went, "She's a bitch." And you know, I think over time, I think like she got a handler who got her under control because she quickly, you know, I think somebody said, "You see what they're doing?"
The fuck up pretty fast.
Well, I'm pretty sure that her
movies,
PR team told her to make a YouTube channel because it would make her more relatable in that work.
I'd like to think Kevin Feige sat her down and said, "Listen, you're going to fuck up $1 billion movie again. We only have this Avengers shit one time. If you open your mouth and ruin this, we'll kill you."
But it's the same. It's the same entitlement you see with the kids, though. You know, just as they did the kids that say Jaws looks like shit and it's a terrible film because of it.
Always makes me so mad when they say that. I feel like I'm about to pop my head off.
That only works in Back to the Future too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think today's movies look like shit. I think they're unwatchable. They're artificial. They don't have heart or soul.
Black Widow was hard to look at. It looked so, the CGI was bad, the frame rate was off, and it was a mess of a movie.
Is it crazy to say we've peaked? You know, is it crazy to say that we've hit the top of the mountain?
It's not crazy, but I think it's time to sort of like go back to brass tracks, right? And start like create our own stuff and hopefully promote that. Because I mean, my friend said it best, like you get what you put out there, and that's not some sort of mystic karmic bullshit I'm putting out. It's, to me, it's of a natural consequence. You talk about it, you're gonna see it more than you would like. You're actively looking for stuff like that, and you keep it alive. It's one thing to critique something, it's another thing to sort of like unfathomably like hate it and just like fucking like hit it, and then never stop. And it's like, well, we're not getting anywhere with this. The perpetual name calling, the fucking slurs getting thrown back and forth. It's like, you guys are essentially the same people you rail against, where you are basically demanding to a figure of higher authority to fix the problem for you, rather than take what you know and apply it to something constructive. And that's what I have a problem with. It's like, you don't promote independent films, you don't promote independent comics, books, movies, or TV. You don't do that. It's like, you can change it. It's like, they think it's like somehow giving up or something. It's like, no, it's moving on, and moving on doesn't necessarily mean giving up. It's just, you're moving the battle to a better field, and actually a hill that's worth dying on. And I'm not going to sit here and fucking die on the everything is woke hill. I'm not. So
Ethan, are you going to be around for another minute?
I guess so. Why?
Oh, I got to step away. I ordered food, but I need your help with something. I just wanted to know if you knew a good inker, but I wanted to not take away from the show, but I'm leaving for a minute. So if you were going to be gone, I don't want to miss out on that. So
yeah, I'm going to stay for another couple minutes. I got to get to work, but I wanted to drop in and hang out with some old friends.
That's fine. We'll probably only be going for another little bit anyway.
I want to talk to Movie Blocks again real quick here, and just say again, thanks for the great comments, because he's really like thoughtful. I assume it's a he. I don't know. Yeah, he's smart, so it's got to be a guy, right? I mean, that's
my viewership is also like 97% male, so
sausage fest.
It's okay, don't worry.
I disagree with
be offended by that statement.
I know. You knew that was a hook. Yeah, I agree with what he's saying. You know, he's just, but I disagree. Here, you know, Brie Larson's woke because she has this idea in her that black people need to speak to black people for black people. Asian people need to speak for Asian people. Women speak to women. Look, when it comes to reviewing a movie, somebody who is smart and knows things about movies is the person who we need to listen to. It doesn't matter what their gender is or skin color. We need, Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert for the most part, two white guys, two old white nerds know more about movies and can tell
Mhm.
people what's good or bad about movies, at least have informed opinions. So this idea that like the demographics of who's in the audience, who's reviewing these movies, who's telling people about movies, that is woke. That's the definition of woke. So
it's new age racism.
Demographics are just numbers. They're just statistics, and to act like they equate to value. That is
Movie Blocks,
that is where things
join my channel. I want you in my audience too, if you're not already, please.
And Philip Booty, yes, nailed it on the head. Is the story good? That's not important, bigot. I mean, that was Brie Larson's narrative pretty much on her whole tour of duty out there.
Yeah. I mean,
she ruined that movie. Yeah,
she really did. She kills any movie she's in. But honestly, like you can always tell what state of society is in by what art it champions and heralds. And right now, what our society champions and heralds is mediocrity and just downright garbage. I don't think they realize that there is great stories out there that they can like that's where they're like they take everything and they'll watch it and they'll be fine with it, but they don't like watch the older stuff to realize that no, like these things can teach you stuff, that what's good versus what's not good. And I don't think people know how to differentiate between that anymore, unfortunately. Not like the older generation or like the newer generation, at least. Like that's concerning to me. It's like, no, like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, the next evolution in comics was comicsy. What's the next evolution in movies? Like if we're stuck at a stalemate or if we're going even downhill, like who's going to be next?
And all of these other, I mean, look, more and more, the YouTube is the next evolution of movies. More and more, it's about just independent creators being able to create without big studios.
This is the difference maker, Sweet Pea. It's finally happened. The reason why we couldn't have independent content of the quality that we had on the the mainstream Hollywood circuit was simply the price of special effects. The price of CGI was so exorbitant for so long. You take something like there was a great little independently produced I think it was a student film, even. It was called The West Bank Story. It was a short film that won the Oscar. It was a musical parody of the West Side Story about Palestine and Israel. And really cool, like built these practical effects. They had a fire, they burned down their sets. It was awesome, all that stuff. And for doing all that and extending themselves to build these sets, burn them down, destroy them, costumes, pay us to hire different people to sing and all that, the most expensive piece of that short film is like 5 seconds where a spark is CGI'd to fly across the screen.
That's the don't count out the independent creator.
Well, that's where we were, though. But that's where we were. That was 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Or
honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Today,
now it's just...
I could go chroma key that little spark into my own damn thing for $0. So we have the barrier of entry for the basic effects is so much lower now. Now you can have independent creators that can actually budget for, okay, if we need that one really big effect, or we need to hire a post-production house to do a solid pass on our film, we can do that now because so many of the basic effects, the basic tools to create have come down. I mean, your iPhone now can shoot a 4K film. So, I mean, granted, your iPhone also now costs the same amount as one of those
still,
cameras, but you don't have to choose between two of them.
Some of the greatest movies of all time were made on a shoestring budget. It's not really about the effects. It's about what you're using in the heart that you have, which I feel like there's a lack of that.
Halloween. There you go.
Yeah, Halloween.
That's kind of why I wanted to include the fan films on my Fandom Jump show.
Yeah,
is because you really get to see how good people are. And I just watched a Mandalorian fan film, and there's like certain moments where it's like, okay, that's obviously not quite as good, but there's moments in that fan film where it's just as good, if not better. And that's what I'm
interesting when somebody has to make a piece of art with like defined limitations. I think when you give somebody too much money, too many choices,
I agree.
Maybe a movie is not going to turn out. I mean, look at Justice League. The Justice League movie is a fucking disaster because they had too much money, whatever they wanted. But if you had said to them, you're going to bring this movie in at $50 million and all of your, it's like if you had done that to them, they would have had to limit their choices, pick better actors instead of bigger stars. And then there would have been possibly a better result. But I mean, it's the same thing with movies. if you're really, really smart, look at the Blair Witch Project kids.
Yeah, that was made for
made
nothing.
that movie. It's like we got $50 in a video camera, but we have a story idea.
Yeah.
Fuck Kevin Smith now, but Clerks. I mean,
he maxed out his credit cards and made Clerks. That's
not to mention, like, I think at one point in time that Blair Witch was actually the movie that was the most profitable movie of all time at the time, you know,
because of the budget,
because of the budget, and it made back a lot. And I think that's why a lot of low budget horror films try to do exactly what Blair Witch did, but it never really pans out because it's all phony and fake, and it doesn't have a story in it. It's just the basic formula, which is what most companies are doing now. It's the basic formula.
I'm gonna read this super chat real quick from 200 Watt Studios. Is EVS wearing the hat that goes to Jesse's sweater? Also, why isn't Bab's camera on?
I actually looked at the show and I went, I'm going to match, you know, Jeff and Jesse. So I put on a hat and I put on a black shirt with white lettering on it. So if we were all sitting together, we would look like a matching set.
That's perfect. You know? That's beautiful. Although I will tell you, this is a bathrobe, and I'm very proud of my bathrobe.
Well, this is, I don't even know what this hat is, you know, but it is.
Looks like a toboggan.
Yeah, that's something I should be wearing,
eh? My camera's set on because I can't fucking find my camera. I can't. I don't know where it is.
200 Watt Studio, Evil Dead, exactly.
Done on a 2x4 with a camera attached to get steady shots on the
storytelling over everything.
Oh, Paranormal Activity.
I knew a horror movie beat it. Paranormal Activity was a $15,000 movie.
Wow. Paranormal Activity, the Blumhouse, Jason Blum. Amazing. Jason Blumhouse, I think it's
Blum. It's Blum.
Yeah, he learned how to just take no money and turn it into tons of money by making these simplistic, cheap ghost movies that were scary. And his advertising was so effective because he filmed the audience. He didn't even show much of the movie. He just said, "This is the audience watching my movie."
Right. You know, the marketing tactics were brilliant. And also, like, the Blair Witch marketing tactics were also, like, really brilliant because the internet was, like, really kind of new at the time. And so people actually believed that those kids went missing in the woods. Like, I heard stories from people who were a little older than me tell me, like, oh, yeah, like, when we went and saw that shit, we thought it was real. We didn't fucking walk outside for, like, a fucking month because of that movie. And I thought that's, like, really good marketing can really get butts in the seats.
Yeah, as you're saying, Ethan, like, Paranormal Activity was an event. Like, I was in high school when I came out, and you had people talking like, "Oh, that was real. That was a real movie. That actually happened." Like, that's what I'm saying.
Same with Blair Witch. I was really upset by Blair Witch when I saw it. I thought I'd seen something awful and evil that I wasn't meant to see. It really stuck with me for a few days.
Like with her screaming at the end of that, like screaming out Mike or something, that was actually really horrific. I was like, oh my fucking God, this girl died.
Is it wrong that I laughed when I watched that movie as a kid? Because I was 10 years old. I'm sitting there. We rented it the first Halloween it came out on tape. We're all at this Halloween party, and we're watching it, and it ends, and we just went, "What was that?"
Yeah,
that was my reaction.
That was more mine. Mine was more waiting for it to pay off in a bigger way. But
I think it all depends on if you're sold on it or not.
Yeah,
honestly,
I was ready to see
real talk. I have had like creepy supernatural experiences that are almost as bad as like the shit you see in that movie.
Do you mean like the time we were at the Pine Barrens?
Oh yeah, like when Ethan tried to kill us in the Pine Barrens. You know?
Sorry,
bodies. I love that Pine Barrens.
Bodies.
That little thing, yeah.
So Fisher's Archon, bye. He sends the super sticker with the Shibino going bye. So have a
bye.
Archon.
What's the scariest movie you've ever seen? Runs with Phantom says boop. All right. What's the scariest movie you've ever seen? One that really upset you?
Scariest.
I can give you a quick one.
Okay.
It's a movie about a girl. And now the name literally just popped up in my head. Who goes on the dark web? She gets kidnapped. Essentially.
The Den.
That's it. It's this girl whose webcam, her computer gets hacked, and they target her, and it's all shot from her webcam.
Yeah.
And then the reason it scared me is not because it's like I'm afraid for my life. That could happen. Yeah. And I just went, Jesus Christ. And then it has like this thing where you think she's escaped and then gets pulled back, and it just like this anything that is a reflection of real life, not the redneck zombies we watch, not that shit. That always what gets me. That fear of like that's real.
That I think the one that always stays with me, that I always come back to, that like sometimes when I'm walking outside at night and I see shadows in a certain way, I'll get a chill, is White Noise.
Good movie.
I've not seen that movie in forever.
That one does. It's such a weird one because it's like it's not even trying to be that scary. It's kind of like that though, in a weird way, even though it is supernatural, it's hyper realistic. It's, you know, people going over tapes with EVP and we hear, you know, bad voices and this and that. And then it's just the bad guys are just shadows, you know, the idea of what everyone's sort of universal concept of what a supernatural demon or monster, you know, that you can't even see might be. And it blends, like it kind of blurs that line. It's like so very realistic and yet obviously supernatural. And I think it's just there's something very unsettling about that one for me.
Well, I mean, think of the real science that goes. Think of the science that researches this shit.
Yeah,
and I think it's kind of how we both have like realistic with like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're both afraid of movies that are kind of realistic to a degree. Like if you believe it's supernatural, then there's
you know, I've gone for a walk and looked to my left and all of a sudden seen 3 shadows that then weren't there a second ago. The light's playing trick, your eyes playing trick. Who knows? But like
we've seen ghosts in your we've experienced shit in your parents' house.
Oh,
like,
dude, yeah.
Shit.
Oh my gosh.
Serious ghosty shit in my parents. I grew up in a fucking haunted house.
The scariest movie that I mean, the one that I can think off the top of my head that really, really, really unsettled me was this movie called Lake Mungo. And it's a mockumentary style horror film. And it kind of like tells the tale about a girl who drowned in a large body of water, and the twists and turns you take. And it like I said, it's a mockumentary, but the people that are doing the mockumentary are supposed to be like her family. And it kind of leads up to where they think that they're being haunted by their daughter. And so the stills of those images of like this ghostly like figure in the background, this apparition, are scarier than any fucking thing I've ever seen pop out of me in like some big high budgeted horror film, you know, that James Wan produced. Like that legitimately, you see, there's only one jump scare in it and you see it coming. But as soon as you see what it is, I screamed and I slept with a light on for like a few weeks after that because it unsettled me so much. And it's hard to explain. There's a lot of twists and turns about how she like led a secret life.
What is it called again? Everybody
Lake Mungo.
I've heard of it. Lake Mungo.
How do you spell it?
M-U-N.
Like M-U-N-G-O.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, M-U-N-G go.
Ethan, did you pick this one up yet?
Yeah. Yeah, I got 2 different versions of that now. Of the new version. Yeah. I got them all.
It upset me. And a movie that did upset me, fucking thing. Martyrs upset me really badly.
Cody, do you have a one that gets you?
Honestly, like a horror movie in general, I really haven't gotten as much disturbed by it. But I remember watching a documentary on the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders. I think it was a camp.
Oh my
god! So basically, like one of the night after the camp, it started raining. 3 girls were in their tents, and basically they were found the next day murdered. So basically, this one guy had been
still at large.
Yeah, still at large. Yeah, still at large. Had been in the area, and yeah, it's. Honestly, I'm not even going to try to tell you the story because you need to look it up. It's the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders.
All right, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was one that really creeped me out, which was the Springfield 3, which is about these women who just disappeared and nobody fucking knows what happened to them back in like the 90s.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. Like, you know, nobody knows what happened. I mean, to take 3 women, right? You know, that's a task. But they do have people in sex trafficking that like are basically pros and paid to kidnap people and know how to do it and not leave any evidence behind. And that shit is so scary to me.
That's that taking shit. Ethan, do you have a horror movie that's like your one that gets you?
So many. I love horror movies. Mm-hmm. Last time I was really creeped out by a movie that I was watching, it was Room 237, the documentary about The Shining.
That was good.
Oh my gosh.
And I watched that, and there's something about it. First of all, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like there's apparently a whole subculture of people who have theories that read symbolism into The Shining. And, it's either about the slaughter of Native Americans or it's about how Kubrick faked the moon landing. He was a part of that. And this was a confession on his part.
That's my favorite one.
It's about the Holocaust. And the documentary itself is first of all, it just has a
That's
like
running
music
or- oh,
behind it the whole time, while some fucking weirdo is just like, okay, so I watched the movie and like you can see that there's a fucking rocket there, and you're just listening to somebody go fucking nuts, and there are a bunch of different people as they get more and more obsessed with the movie, and you're like, I don't know if this guy's right or wrong, but how weird is it to think that like Kubrick could have encoded all of these messages into this movie, and sometimes it's really convincing. You're just like, that's fucking crazy. What did he mean by that? And then it's filmed with clips from the movie that are zoomed in on and zoomed out on slow motion and other things, and the whole thing just haunted the fuck out of me. It just felt like madness, and I was drawn into it. And you know what I did is I immediately went and started trying to find videos from these freaks about The Shining. For like a week, all I wanted to hear was what's up with The Shining.
Did you see the one about the Jack Torrance apparently like raped his son or something like that?
Yeah, there are all
my
these
God.
theories.
Oh.
Well, the theory of how he actually, first of all, there's a whole video about how there are no ghosts in The Shining, and it explains that, no, it's a psychic war between, the father and the son who have The Shining. But the question is, who let Jack out of the freezer then if there are no ghosts? Because that's the only thing that can't be explained. Out of everything there, it's the only thing that can't be explained by madness. Who unlocked him and let him out of the fridge? Who did? His son did. Trying to kill mom. I mean, it's just the more you think about this and the deeper you go, the more fucked up you get.
Okay,
it's a Kubrick film. It's a Kubrick film. Makes sense.
That's right. It's worth looking at.
I do like Runs with Phantom's answer though. When Luke chucked his daddy's saber away was the scariest damn thing I've seen in the horror genre.
There was another one that stuck with me, and it didn't necessarily.
Let me hit this super chat real quick from 200 Watt Studios. That's all right. What we need is filmmakers that go into a film saying, "What if I couldn't afford a standard film camera setup? How could I tell this story differently?" Agree with that completely.
Yeah.
Nobody's
look at Grizzly from the 70s. I said it earlier. It's literally the bear is just a camera moving slowly through bushes.
Well, now, one thing we have to take into account, though, with independent film moving forward, we've now reached a standard where, like we said, you can make it in your pocket. So independent filmmakers have to now do more, meaning like, and it's not a knock or anything, but like, since you have the technology to put yourself on the same level, I think it's more interesting to find people who don't have enough money to try to put themselves on that level than it is somebody who has the money, but is then told, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the film,
I would rather still see the independent people than watch the established people try to work with the press.
Yeah, they almost have to like outmaneuver like their budget, right? Like, because if you say, "Hey, I got $50 million to make a bear movie," like you're probably gonna have a CGI bear eating people.
You're gonna make Cocaine Bear, and that's coming out. That's a movie.
If you got $30 grand to make a bear movie, you're probably not gonna have CGI bears. You're probably gonna be using old school effects and old school kind of mentality to film shots.
You're probably going to get attacked by a bear because you're going to get stock footage in the woods and you get too close because you have no budget. And unlike me, who saw the bear, turned around and left. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ethan, did you hear about our bear encounter?
They probably thought Jeff was bigger and it scared him.
Probably.
No, this thing was on a beeline.
It was looking for the dumpster. We were in Lake Tahoe over the summer. To celebrate our 2 years of being.
Oh,
and
was it like a grizzly or a black bear or?
It was a brown bear, right?
The brown bear is a
brown bear. Okay,
grizzly,
big one.
But
big
yeah.
One.
So we were up there celebrating that, and we was late the first night we got in. We're like, we need water, and there's a 7-Eleven right up the road. So we were gonna just walk over there, and we walked up through it was like all like a mess of little hotels, and then you get up to the main drag, and there's the shops and stuff. But we just like we're walking through the parking lot and then across the first street, and right after that, over that first street, I look over and there's just this big old fucking bear making his way over to a dumpster, and I was just like, I'm standing at it like enthralled because like I'm assessing the situation. There is a significant amount of space between me and the bear. The bear is clearly interested in something else. So my first thought is I'm just not gonna make any sudden movements. I'm gonna marvel at the fact that there's a bear. I just want to take a picture of this bear. I look, Jeff is already like halfway back to the room. He's like, nope. Bye.
He was high stepping it back to that room.
I didn't even hear him leave.
I read how you deal with like a bear when you're trying to get away. I saw the bear. I went, nope. And I turned around and I walked at the same pace. And I got back to the place. And Jessica's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm fine. I'm not even worried. But I'm not fucking around with a bear. Like it's left. Like if I'm in the ocean and here comes a great white shark, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back on the boat or go on the shore and I'm just going to sit there. I'm not going to be scared or complain. I'm away from the danger. But I'm not
being attacked by a great white shark or a shark in general, so never fucking go in the ocean. I hate the ocean. I'm terrified of the ocean. I would rather be launched into space without a prayer than to ever set foot in the fucking ocean. Like
I would rather do that too if I had the choice. It's just outer space. Come on, man. We all dream about one.
Steve Irwin got clapped. Come on, nobody's safe.
Very true.
They did Steve Irwin, and none of us were safe.
Runs with Phantoms. Thank you for the super chat. Says the Ash trilogy is great, especially Army of Darkness. Yes. Paranormal Activity gets me on edge when the whole kitchen goes batshit.
Hold on, we got the Ash trilogy right here. Like Jesse is getting. We're having the best Halloween season ever.
It's been fun.
It's been Army of Darkness 2, or not Army. It's Evil Dead 2. I just love how insane that movie. You know, it's like a soft remake of the first one. I just love how fucking off the wall.
So obviously, there's the original Evil Dead. But we got the fucking new version of Evil Dead 2. This is my favorite. Yeah. And then Army of Darkness is great. I'm ready to get the better version of Army of Darkness. You've never seen this, right? No. Balls to the wall insanity.
I love it.
You have the Book of the Dead version that screams at you when you open it?
My cousin Jason does. He used to, back in the early 2000s, run a horror website. And he was obsessed with everything for about 5 years. They gave him shit and he bought it. I've seen every DVD set or like VHS set of the Evil Dead from like 98 to 05. He had them all. He kept fucking showing them to me. Nice. He was obsessed. It was cool. It was rubber. And you could touch the book. It was
that is really neat.
I think that's next year for my 13 Days of Halloween. Oh, also, I forgot to ask you, Jeff. You're big into Ghostbusters, right?
Oh, of course.
I was wondering if you'd mind helping me out with the Fandom Jump episode.
Sure. Just shoot me an email. You got my email, whatever you need. Just
yeah.
Was the format easy for you to use the way I sent it?
Perfect. Yeah, because basically I want you to send it the way you would make your videos. So that's perfect. Yeah, that's the way Jessie would make her videos. So it's the way she sent it to me, the way you make your videos sent to me. That's I want to catalog kind of everybody's opinion.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go. Oh, he has it.
Here, hold on. Let me get you up like this.
The Necronomicon.
Hold on.
Is the battery dead? I don't know, but it still screams.
What?
But look at this.
To make it.
Oh,
here we go.
I love that. I absolutely fucking love that.
I completely forgot what I was talking about. That's awesome.
I'll send it to you. I don't want it. Here you go. Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, that movie's the best.
Is it just Evil Dead 2 or is it? Yeah, it's just Evil Dead 2, I guess.
Oh my god, I love that.
That's awesome.
And then this is the Evil Dead commemorative edition. It's okay. I really like the remake. The remake was very upsetting.
Ethan just dropping his dick out in the middle of this whole thing.
The part that upset me and Ethan in the remake was when that girl cut her arm off with the turkey knife. Just the duration it took to cut through the bone made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. They were like, they're brutal to each other there. That movie. Just getting hit by staple nail guns.
Might as well be Mary. Hi, Mary.
Oh, it's Mary.
Did Mary appreciate? Did Mary appreciate your Buffalo Jeff?
She ran off every time. She was like, you didn't see the video part of me because I made him on air.
Oh my god, no, I did not see the videos.
It blacks out. Hello, Mary.
Ethan, you've met Buffalo Jeff, right? You've met Buffalo Jeff,
here
right?
we go.
You've not made the acquaintance of Buffalo Jeff?
So, Ethan, I'll tell you about it in a second.
This is Buffalo Jeff.
Oh,
this is weird voice I do.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I bought a domain for $5 a couple months back. It went from $5 to $1,200, and every week people ask for Buffalo Jeff shit. So I just run with it. It scares Mary. It scares Dion, and it entertains the people.
Buffalo Jeff, I love it. I don't care for it either, but
Yellow Spider-Man's right. I gotta go. I want to talk to you guys, but I gotta go. I gotta get back to
Ethan,
work.
Can you hang for us? Can we wrap up with a quick rendition of Mad Libs? Yellow Spider-Man, thank you for the super chat. Run through a quick story of Mad Libs, and we'll just keep it since there's so many of us. Then sorry, chat. We'll just keep it in the rotation here.
And Ethan, I will just shoot you a message on Twitter to ask you my question about comics because got a lot actually. I could use your help.
Yeah, sure.
So, Ethan, you played Mad Libs before, right?
When I was like 3.
Okay. When he was a young.
It hasn't changed. It's the exact same game. All right. So we'll go in order 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see. Okay, so 4 of you, blah, 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 blah. Words. Okay, 4 people, 4 words. I can know words. I can do things. All right. We're working from the Gamer Collection tonight, but I won't even tell you this title.
I won't read. I'm not
until
looking.
we get in. So who wants to start? You've all
I'll start.
All right. Cody, you get a number.
69.
Yeah. All right.
Why does my mind go there? I don't know.
Sweet Pea, you get an adjective.
Adjective. How about a remind me what an adjective is again. It's late for me.
Describing a noun.
Describing a noun. Horrifically.
Horrific would be.
Oh, horrific. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Ethan, that leaves you with a noun.
Volcano.
Of the anal variety?
Uh-huh. Is it an anal volcano or just a regular one?
That's up to whoever wants to add, some kind of
I only said that
descriptor
because Greg Kirby is really into the anal volcanoes. So
right, that's where I got it. So
that's what I
it's
figured.
volcano.
So we can
My turn, right?
should we make an anal volcano or just a regular volcano?
That's a regular.
Regular's fine. All right, you get a color, Jeff.
Orange. Because it's the new black.
All right, that gives Cody a noun.
That's a person, place, or thing,
Mhm.
right? That's what that is. All right.
Yes, it is.
Vincent Van Gogh's bloody ear.
It's highly specific.
I love Vincent Van Gogh. I'm not gonna lie.
My mind's like, hey, you should say this. So I did.
So, also, Mary, I didn't realize you felt that way about Buffalo Jeff.
What's Mary mad about?
She's upset by Buffalo Jeff.
No.
She says, please tell Jeff to stop torturing
Never.
Hi, Mary.
me. So who are I? Blah 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 blah. All right. Verb ending in ing for Sweet Pea.
Frolicking.
Frolicking. I love that. That's an excellent verb. Ethan, you get an adjective.
Scabby.
Scabby. Oof.
Jeff, a noun.
Dildo.
Cody, an adjective.
That's describing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pussy.
Oh.
Oh my God. Sweet Pea, I'll let you think of an adjective while I read this real quick. Phil Abudi says, I doubt it's made of human skin, Mary, but give me a few weeks and I can make it happen. Does it have to be a virgin or will anyone do?
Oh, Mary told us on the show she was in New York City once and she mooned everybody on a subway train. She bare-assed and put it on the window and it was down fucking tracks.
That sounds
Press ham.
All right. Mooning.
Phil is working on a unicorn mask, a leather unicorn mask for me, and I'm very excited. Sorry, Sweet Pea, an adjective.
Mooning, since Mary mooned a bunch of people.
There you go. Ethan, a first name. Now it says female, but we don't discriminate on this channel, so you can pick any first name.
That Star Wars girl, Anna.
Oh, no.
I'm so pleased. Oh God, there's so many opportunities arising. Jeff, you have a noun.
How about gardener?
You got it. Just a moment too late. Runs with Phantoms. If there's a name, can I buy Lucy Lawless? However,
you can kick Anna out.
I feel like Jessie likes it too much. She knows something. She knows something we don't know.
I'll give it to Runs with Phantoms, but then Ethan, since we usurped your word, you get another adjective.
Another adjective. Surreptitious.
That's a good
word. I don't think that's appeared on this, has it?
I don't think it has either. I do love that one though. I love the way I've always loved the way that word feels like it stops halfway through and then just finishes. Like it doesn't flow all the way. It just like surreptitious. I don't know why. It
just sounds delicious on pancakes.
It does, doesn't it?
We almost had pancakes delivered.
Very sneaky, but also good on pancakes. All right. So you were the noun. We bounced back to you. So we're on Cody for the plural noun. Multiple persons, places, or things.
Seagulls.
Stop it now.
A flock of them.
A whole flock. Sweet Pea, a verb.
How about fishing?
I'm gonna veto that because story. It just doesn't. It doesn't really make sense in the sentence.
Okay.
I'm playing arbitrator.
What is it? Is it a verb?
A verb, yeah. Fish is just sort of like it doesn't really fit.
Fishing is a noun, I think.
Oh,
isn't it? Or it's an activity. No, it's a verb.
So you can fish,
fishing.
but it's
yeah.
It's just every now and then in Mad Libs you hit a word like that it's like the syntax is just awkward in the sentence that they want. So
how about shitting? There, shitting.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. All right, and then we're back to Ethan with another adjective.
I would have to come up with so many descriptive things.
Would you like a better part of speech?
I will say I will continue with my scaly, I will say.
I like it. Always an excellent choice. Jeff, a plural noun.
Plumbers.
And the last one by democracy. Whoever comes up with the best verb first gets it. Who has got a
mincing?
Plowing.
All right. Mince it is. The plow is also good. Actually, sorry. Plow it is. You'll all understand one day. Which is right now. Are you guys ready to hear the beautiful? Since the theme of tonight was all about how we need to create our own art. Would you guys like to hear the beautiful independent story we just collaboratively created together?
Yes. I hope. Okay.
Can't be much worse than Disney, really.
Can't be worse than The Last Jedi. With that in mind, hidden within the kingdom of Hyrule are 69 pieces of a horrific volcano known as the Triforce.
I'll skip this game.
This orange Vincent van Gogh's bloody ear holds the key to defeating the evil warlord Ganon and the frolicking Princess Zelda.
Oh my god.
Frolicking the Princess Zelda. Only the heroic Link can save the day. He must use his scabby dildo to defeat pussy monsters and battle dark forces throughout the kingdom. Link will have to fight his way through the Mooning Woods, Lake Lucy Lawless, and the famous Death Gardener.
Oh my god.
But first, he'll need to find the surreptitious sword. Join Link as he collects seagulls that will help him shit his enemies. Help him as he discovers scaly dungeons and explores lost plumbers. Will he be able to plow the princess in time? You decide.
She's gonna play Super Mario and fuck the princess? This is the best Zelda game. I'm back on track.
Right? I just like that he's got to use his scabby dildo to defeat pussy monsters.
Oh.
So that's Mad Libs, guys. Ethan, what any last words you'd like for the group before you get back to work? As we've been
I'd like to issue an apology to everyone in the chat. I'm very sorry, but I'm happy to spend a little time with you. I'm happy to meet Baby Outlaw. I'm happy to meet Cody. I didn't get to see Baby Outlaw. I don't know what she looks like, but I guess
just like her picture.
Okay. Yeah. Jesse and Jeff, where are you guys? Are you in California or Philly?
Cali. We will be in Philly for Thanksgiving, though, so we'll have a little bit of time around there. So
cool. Maybe we'll get together.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You have a great night.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Ethan. Thank you for stopping by.
You bet. Bye-bye. Good night.
Great. Nice meeting you, man.
All right.
Thanksgiving.
Really cool.
I was just thinking. I just had Thanksgiving, but
yeah, whatever.
I forgot Yanksgiving.
Ours is in November. So with our Mad Libs, we reached the conclusion of the show. Had a great effing time. Went way longer than I thought we were gonna go. But hey, that's the Ethan factor. A wild Ethan has appeared and is now gone. So with that said, who wants to wrap us up first? Baby Outlaw, Cody, who wants to take the floor first?
I guess I'll take the floor first. Okay,
I'm a gentleman. All right.
Thank you. You're a country gentleman. It's like okay, so I'm Baby Outlaw. You guys know me as either Sweet Pea Montana. Babs now apparently is going to be a thing, I think. So I am planning to start my own channel. I have no videos up right now, but I'm working on it.
Subscribe to her.
Please subscribe to me. We're going to have a lot of fun. I have a lot of cool things in store. I thought about if I had live streams on, we'd pick like a specific topic like this, but I'd have like at least one guest on. So it'd be like a one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do was like give my guests honorary outlaw monikers, and I would craft a little story around that moniker and I would read it out loud on air. I promise I'm not a stupid blonde. I know I make mistakes and forget about adjectives and pronouns and all that other bullshit.
Nobody's worried about that.
I am. That's why I'm walking away.
Clearly,
but,
forever.
I definitely, I've already decided, if I ever have Kelly on, she's going to be Black Cat Kelly. You're already Jackknife Jesse, but I almost want to give you a better one just because I fucking love you. But also, if you don't want to be an outlaw, you can be a bounty hunter, a sheriff. You could be some brothel worker if you like, a famous brothel worker. You can be somebody that is a drifter or a snake oil salesman, like a peddler. Like you can pick whichever one suits you the best. And so we could pick whatever we wanted. And also another thing I want.
Can we join forces a little bit? And can your outlaws be the mindless outlaws? Because you have all the outlaw theme and all that stuff. We already have the mindless outlaw stuff rocking. You could have the mindless outlaws. I'm the mindless mob. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't mind that at all. Like we could just be our thing, like a duo thing. Like we call the mindless outlaws. I mean, you have seriously no idea how much you've helped me out, Jesse. Like, I mean, I know I have not been coming around as much, and most of that has a lot to do with the fact that I've been really, really, really fucking depressed. Wow. And I don't mean to. It's just you would not believe the amount of energy that it sucked from me. And I don't mean to sound a little emotional, but that doesn't mean that I didn't stop caring about anybody that at all. Like, I was just really going through a rough time. And this last couple months has just been really difficult, but also a really great platform for me to jump off of for change. I finally got a job. I'm making $16 an hour. I can finally afford to do certain things again. I'm very excited. And I still love all of you guys. I still wished I could make it to every single stream. It's just at the time I was just so sad that I had no energy, but I love you guys. But yeah, so I really do, I'm an artist. I wanted to show Ethan some of my art, but I got really nervous. I mean, like I was really kind of like,
you shouldn't have. I was going to pull yours up earlier and then I forgot. You should have said something.
That's okay. Like, no, it's just, it was really cool to see him. That was like, I thought that would like never happen, but he's just a normal dude like everybody else. So it was really cool to see him, just a guy. And, but also another thing too, I thought like it'd be fun. Like me and Cody were talking about, if you guys own like Red Dead Redemption or you own a PlayStation 4, we could literally be the mindless outlaws. You can make a posse of 8. And I feel like in order for this to actually occur, and if you have played the game, there's an online feature and you can make your own character, and you basically do have to level up in order to sort of afford certain clothing or guns and stuff like that, and horses.
Yeah. You guys have a PS4, right?
But we don't have Red Dead Online.
Don't have Red Dead.
Do you have Red Dead 2?
Okay. Oh, we have it online on Xbox. Yeah. Well, we'll talk. We'll figure this all out because this is planning.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. Yeah.
Well, even if it's not just us, like anybody in the the chat, it could be like an event. We could have once a month, maybe. But you'd have to be a part of the Discord server, Jesse's Discord server. If I make a Discord server, you'd have to be a part of my Discord server. So it'd be like a triad. Same thing with Cody's. If that's something that anybody would like to do, that would be fun. We could go around and fuck shit up because Red Dead Online is really one of those games.
I'd like to take this moment also just to point out, I don't know if you guys are getting the gist of what's going on here, but like these are my people. Sweet Pete, Cody, Andy McCallum in the chat. He's Zombie Box reviewer, still reviewer, just
And you can be there along with us.
The point is exactly. These guys, this is what's up. You guys are gonna see these guys more because I don't do tribes, we don't do tribalism, right? But these guys are my people, right? These are the people I want on my channel because they're creating the things and they have the energy and the ideas and the fun that's there. So if you like me, if you like what I do, you guys show up week after week to see me, you guys are gonna be just as on board for these two.
We're gonna have fun.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Jess is the madam. Buffalo Jeff is the bottom bitch. Buffalo Jeff had something to say about that.
Like we can craft this whole fucking town. Everyone becomes a goddamn character in this like universe, and it's all interconnected, like stories and shit. Like it'd be so fucking cool.
Freaking brothel. Yeah, I love it. Hey, Eric Black is part of the Jesse Discord server. Yay! We're in Mindless Mob on Discord. We have so much fun.
Yeah, get in there. You're missing out if you haven't been on the Discord. You're missing out.
We have a lot of fun. We have a really great, I'd like to call him our patron saint, liver cirrhosis.
Oh, dude.
I love and respect that man so fucking much. He is such a gem. And if you ever do get the chance to be on Jesse's Discord server, he's a wonderful man. And he's so
the godfather. He's the godfather of this server.
He's our consigliere, actually. It's his official role. That's what he requested, even. And so I think it's very appropriate considering his current duties, but he's our official consigliere. Anyway, thank you for the super chat. I love you guys so much.
We love you too,
Cody, your turn to talk.
Yes, I've talked way too much.
Oh, dude. I love listening to you, my love. I love
listening to you too. I love listening to Cody.
I love
listening to myself.
I've gotten to a point where I stopped kind of trying to do what people suggest I should do or people think I should do. You know, I just do what I want to do on my channel now. You know, like I said, the 4 different things that I love the most, the 4 different things I have the most experience and knowledge of, I talk about. And I also want to explore. I want to find out new different fandoms. I want to find out what people have to teach me and different kind of experiences that they've been through with those fandoms. Like there's a different story with every different kind of IP, different fandom. People take this stuff so seriously because it means so much to them, and I want to find out why. You know, I want to be in the know of why these things are so popular, why things like The Matrix are so popular, things like why Evangelion is so popular, things like it's just everything. I want to learn more, and I also want to explore.
We are pop culture scholars.
Exactly, and I also want to explore the things that are in my fandoms that I'm currently heavily involved in. You know, I want to learn more about the fan films that are out there, the creative talents that are out there producing stuff that they love. It's all about the stuff that we like, and that's kind of what I'm going for. I don't want to talk about the stuff that pisses me off as much anymore.
Right.
I don't want to harp on, you know, the shit that pisses me off about the new thing coming out. Like, I'd rather talk about a book that came out 30 years ago.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
with you. I'd rather get to the end of the line.
Yeah, I want people to explore what's already been.
About interesting properties and what value they bring, no matter what decade or era they're from.
Absolutely.
You talk about new Mandalorian. You talk about new Disney. Well, if that makes you angry, if that makes you hate Star Wars, that makes you feel like you shouldn't be a Star Wars fan anymore, then maybe you should leave that behind. Maybe you should look into what came before. You know, what you haven't checked out for Star Wars.
Nobody forces us to engage with things that makes us miserable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's a whole Legends canon out there. There's a whole universe that most people haven't even discovered yet. I'm starting to read the old stuff. I'm starting to go back to basics as far as Star Wars, as far as all this stuff. You know, I've read Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which was the first expanded universe book they ever made, and you know, you kind of learn how everything was in 1978. Like, you didn't know Luke and Leia were brothers and sisters yet. Like, Luke still had a thing for Leia. Like, it's a completely different time. It's a completely different way of experiencing Star Wars. And instead of experiencing through this new, maybe depressing, maybe not as good, maybe like, hell, I look for something else. Go back. Because there's so much good in the past. And that's what I'm trying to bring out. I'm trying to show people that there's so much good.
I think even, you know, movies that, you know, people kind of shit on all the time, but find somebody like, I kind of like this movie, like a cult movie, right? You know, like Twister. We were chucking it up and fucking like the Discord server about Twister the other day. That's one of my favorite fucking movies. I know that there are things in that movie that are impossible, but it's the last film I ever watched with my dad while he was still alive. And so that, like, it has a very special place in my heart. And I accept it with all its flaws and everything, and can admit the flaws it has. But it's a very special movie to me for those reasons.
Yeah, and even just to admit that to me, like, you changed the film to me, because now I look at it with different, like, oh, well, some people really view this film as something completely different. Even throwaway sequels, same thing. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe it's time, instead of looking at the negative and everything, maybe it's time instead of looking at the flaws and all new stuff. Like, maybe we just look at what we love about all this shit, and maybe that's ultimately what makes us love it.
Because
in the future.
Really makes
off topic, but sorry, I have to answer Mary's question right here.
Absolutely.
Because Jesse, we never hit on each other anymore. because you kept yelling at me that you weren't allowed to because you have an Andrew now and all that stuff. And so I wasn't allowed to hit on you anymore because you told me not to. So I don't know. What do you want, bitch? It's fucking problem women. Fucking problem women right here. Can't fucking figure out what they want. They want you to love me. I want you to hate me, flirt with me, ignore me. I don't
You
fucking
can
know,
flirt with
bitch.
me, Mary. I'm all for that.
I gotta cut the stream, otherwise we're gonna be here all night, and I got dinner to eat.
Time to go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody.
Time
But please throw your email address on my Indiegogo. I didn't talk anything about my fencing club tonight. Shame on me. I'm starting a fencing club. It's awesome. Sign up for my Indiegogo. Check out all my links. They're in the description. Subscribe to the Discord. What? Oh yeah, I'm gonna be putting up a video this week called "Why Fencing" on my new channel, Milestone Fencing Studios.
Very proud of you.
You guys should definitely
So
check
excited.
that out,
That's awesome.
because that's gonna be very, very cool. Also, Fridays now are my jam session with my friend Walsey, so you guys should go check that out on 17 Live.
I love that guy. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. He reminded me of like super 90s, like mid 90s. You know, he had that like striped shirt on and the jeans and stuff. I was like,
Right.
damn, I loved it.
Perfect.
Right.
But that's gonna do it for us tonight, guys. What a phenomenal stream. I haven't done one this long in a while. Holy shit. Thank you two so much. You guys will be seeing a lot more of these two in the future.
Thank
And
you.
Next
Really.
time,
Thank you.
next month we'll be joined by Andy as well. That
Oh
line.
wow, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Until
That's
next
my
time, don't forget
outfit.
that practice makes wrong. Don't forget that Link needs to fight pussy monsters with his scabby dildo. And until next time,